Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory, looking to extend the post-election rally that was started yesterday. Big move to the upside yesterday, even with no results yet for the election, obviously. We had certain news outlets late in the day yesterday starting to declare both Michigan and Wisconsin toward Joe Biden, giving him very close to that 270 mark. Even other news outlets now saying Arizona to Joe Biden, getting him even closer to that 270. So we'll continue to watch 270 electoral votes. Obviously, we'll continue to watch as numbers come in and the market reacts to that. U.S. equities also up yesterday despite record COVID-19 cases reported both in the U.S. and throughout Europe in numerous different countries in Europe. So that remains in the background once the election hype does start to die down once again. Individually this morning, we're seeing cannabis stocks moving higher as the likelihood of a Biden presidency becomes more or higher of a chance. We're seeing some of these cannabis stocks moving to the upside. We'll talk about that. Chipmaker Qualcomm with better than expected earnings, big move to the upside. And Expedia, some of the travel names starting to move. Expedia reporting earnings as well. It's Thursday, November 5th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see big moves to the upside. Both Chinese markets, 4% for Shanghai, 3.25% for Hong Kong. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up. Nicely positive right across the board here as well. We'll shift over to North America and see more positive numbers. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ, 2.5% again today, 1+% for the most part throughout the rest of the markets here. I want to draw your attention to Bitcoin. Wow, 5.8% to start the day. We have crude oil to the downside slightly. Gold as well in positive territory, 1.8%, guys, for some of these markets are having quite the day once again. It is the day after, and still no results, but we are here. There's lots to look at. The markets are open. Stocks are moving.
Yeah, it's more or less no change from yesterday's action. You're indicating the exact same thing. The result, it's just a matter of when. So we're seeing a continuation of the theme. Some of the names that might benefit from Biden presidency are headed to the upside. We talked about the lack of the ability to have push taxes through, large environmental reform. That's why we're shorting some solar yesterday. All those things probably not going to happen with a Republican Senate. So lots of things to watch today. I mean, I can't say enough about XPeng and NEO both looking strong. Actually, XPeng looking stronger today of the two, believe it or not. I think it's the first time I've seen that in a few sessions. Either way, EV space front of the mind today, along with, of course, Sean Cannabis.
Yeah, guys, I mean, we're just been hitting us out of the park, and I hope a lot of you have been making some of these trades with us here. We've been long cannabis. I've been talking about that for a month, so you guys know that. Hopefully that's a good trade for you. I was talking with Rob today. He's crushing it on that AMD trade that we all put on, $75, $76. Microsoft, we put that on at 201. Look, man, the market is in the best case scenario right now where you're going to get a Democratic president, most likely. I don't know. This is what the odds are saying. That's what the market's relying on here. And a Senate that's Republican. So this is perfect. They're going to get nothing done. This is perfect for stocks. Keep on going. It's all about growth, baby. And here we go. The portfolio just rips up. I'm long this KXIN, so we'll see if that does anything.
Yeah, news on Caixin Auto over in China. If you remember, going back a couple of weeks, had a big move to the upside. Used auto dealer, online used auto dealer over in China. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Here's what's coming up a little bit later on this morning. We have another great video for you, educational video on order types. 3 of them, in fact, that every trader has to have, according to us anyways, in their back pocket and rely on day in and day out. So we'll talk about our favorite or kind of go-to order types in that video. Valeria will have that link for you coming up around 11:40, 11:45. Speaking of Valeria, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to her.
Good morning, Brandon, and hey guys, I wish you all a great trading day. Please subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yes, let's indeed get it started. We have lots to talk about. If you're joining us for the first time, guys, welcome. Hit the like and subscribe. We do this every single day between 9 a.m. and 9:30. We talk about all the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market, touch on any new catalyst or news stories that relate to those stocks and why, and then come up with a game plan as to how we're going to trade them when the market opens at 9:30. Cannabis stocks, the big ones today to the upside, right from when I sat down first off this morning. Big moves up right across the board. ACB was 30% at one point. It's come back in a little bit along with the rest of them. But, I mean, take your pick here, guys. Any of these stocks going to be big-time moves to the upside today.
My weed Batman thing's not working, damn it. Yeah, no, look, Canopy was on with Jim Cramer yesterday or a couple days ago, and they talked all about it. I mean, Canopy, in my opinion, is going to be the best of breed. Well, it is the best of breed anyways, if you want to get sort of everything. They have that Acreage Holdings deal. They got the investment on the liquor side of things with Constellation. So, yeah, look, I mean, I love CGC, and, you know, we loved it even more, though, guys, when it was back down, when we tweeted it out, back down 14-15 when we had the first couple debates. Now, look, I mean, it's obviously the talk here is going to be you had 5 or 6 more states legalize, you know, recreational marijuana. Who knows? We're going to see what happens with the edible market and things like that. It's got to get out of dispensaries and into like convenience stores before we start seeing anything on this move. And I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. We're already above. We're trying to poke its head above this $23, $24, $25 area for Canopy. And I just don't know if it gets to there today. We were talking about it before about fading some of these names, and I think that's probably the right thing to do. The growers are the ones I think that are in the most trouble because we had that Medcol Kana guy on, and he was talking about 4 cents per gram. So I don't like any of these growers because it's going to be very, very hard to compete in this space. You're growing a plant. So until that gets going, I think we fade stocks like ACB and then go long on Canopy. And True Leave is another one there in the States as well. Growth Generation, GRWG, another one, the Home Depot of hydroponics.
I like that. I think it's working now. No, maybe there it is. Yes, we do have weed. It should be working. I think the crew. Thank you, Rob, for getting that to go. Look, the last time we got pops, I was looking to short ACB. I'm going to stick to sort of that plan. Bouncing right on the 50 period and sort of trying to hold above it. And it looks like it's not going to happen. You already saw the retracement in just about every single name. The level I'm watching, you know, right now is going to be a couple of sessions ago. We did have a top of 512. Certainly, if we get below that, the retracement's in. I want to short any pop into like 550, 560 on ACB here. I think 580 is a good level to the top side here. Ignoring the high of the day, I just like the 580 when I went to a higher time frame. So I want to be fading this. It's already down towards what I thought would be the first support level. So it looks like the market agrees to sell some of this positivity that's coming to the space.
All right, guys, let's talk about Cation Auto, this KXIN Auto Holdings, signing an agreement with another online Chinese auto dealer, specifically the other company, which is Heitosh Limited, import vehicles into the Chinese market, used vehicles, so they're teaming up to combine both of their sites to increase exposure, obviously. But nice deal for KXIN. A little bit of positivity here. I mean, this thing is very strong sitting here right now in the pre-market.
Yeah,
already long.
Yeah, it was relatively strong compared to some of these gap ups that you usually see in names like this. Obviously, it did already have a parabolic from a couple weeks ago. You can certainly see that. If it gets to like I have a few levels here, 550, 630, I think is going to be possibly the bigger one. When I talk about it being, when we talk about something being strong, you always want to see in the pre-market, does it hold some higher lows after showing it wants to come back, and does volume start creeping up? Going into the open on that move to the upside. I think that's the key thing here. There was a volume spike through high of day, 550, like I said, and then 6. And then just a little bit higher than that. I think if we get past that 6 level, it's like 630 to the upside that I'd be watching for a couple of targets. If it gets past there, likely you're looking at some halt scenarios. If it gets below 490, I think that's going to be the case that maybe this is a little bit overdone, and that's where it might start to come back in. So, you know, I'm not touching this one short till I get a failure at this current pre-market high. Back down through 490, or a rollover at 630 or 550.
I would love that rollover at 630. That would be fantastic. We're already long at 520, so we're going to hope to see that this one goes. We did play that break. It only went in the money like 5 cents, so I'm going to get out if it does break, you know, below VWAP sort of 480, 470. Man, these damn wires. I don't know what keeps happening down here. But yeah, so we're along that one. We're just going to hold it. We'll get some out if it goes up. Like I said, the most important thing here is an out, right? So my out's going to be down here 480, just breaking this VWAP, and we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I can't predict what's about to happen. If this goes to $6, then hell yeah. What's up? What's not on our list today, and I noticed it. We've just been so many things. Bitcoin broke 15,000. It's back down below now. But if you're trading anything Bitcoin or been in any crypto, man, congratulations. It's like 60% in just over a month. So I'm a bag holder in crypto and in weed stocks. So very interesting couple of months here for us.
All right, guys. Yeah, I noticed some of the blockchain stocks popping up in the pre-market as well. RIOT, you can look at Mara, the other one, MARA, moving around a little bit in the pre-market. Across the board again today, 2 days in a row, volume in the pre-market, multiples of what it usually is right across the board. So we should have a good day once again. Let's go to Qualcomm. Much better than expected quarter for QCOM. Out with earnings this morning, in fact, posting $6.5 billion in revenue, up 35% year over year. They're set to roll out and ramp up production of Apple's 5G iPhone chips as well, guys. So nice look for QCOM here this morning.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep smiling away here because, I'm like totally bullish on everything tech. So this just keeps lifting the portfolio higher and higher. And these are easy beats, man. I mean, look, Qualcomm's 5G. They're in Apple phones. No surprise there. Apple's going to sell more iPhone 12s than probably any other unit they've ever sold. So we'll wait on that one. But Qualcomm, basically giving us those numbers right here, up 13%, just keeps on ripping to the high side uncontrollably. Look at the daily chart. You can see what's happened here. Every single little bump up. What a great buy this was in March, but everything was. So now we're over 150, and it just, we're going to approach 150. That's the level I wrote down was 150 break. Now that was the high right here. I mean, that's going to be too far away to be playing that as a realistic level right now, I feel. So you got to look at a VWAP break of 147. This just reminds me of all those crazy beats that we've already seen, except for this is a big company. We saw Tupperware, we saw Harley Davidson. We've seen some of these companies that come in, Pinterest, they come in and they're up multiples here and they just continue to go. So I actually like this level, I guess, if we're going to be really, really patient, 148. Otherwise, let's just keep buying some dips down here. But again, the NASDAQ's pulling back down, right? I mean, as it becomes more clear that Biden probably wins this thing, saw it was 80-20 on Predictive website. I do think the NASDAQ does pull down a little bit here. So this is a great movement up for the NASDAQ. I just don't want to go long Qualcomm too early, just in case the market does come, because Qualcomm will be pegged to the NQ.
Yeah, I mean, you're already starting to see a little bit of a roll down to 1,200 on the NASDAQ. I mean, it's not much, but it could be a little bit of something. I'm just eyeballing about, if you go a little bit deeper to the downside, 137 and 142 are the first levels that I'm going to be watching, just to see if there's any kind of support down there. You get a gap up this big, buying the dip, at least for me, and maybe this is too anecdotal, but just for me, lately has been a much better play than playing some of the breakouts. It is following through in terms of us holding higher than some of those post-market levels in earnings, but I'd rather buy dips than buy breaks at these prices. All bets are off at 150. That's a great psychological level, though.
Let's go to the EV space, guys. We had big moves yesterday right across the board, specifically on the Chinese names. So Li Auto, we have that XPeng, XPEV, back to the upside again this morning. Relative volume through the roof once again this morning. I was just noticing this XPEV, already 3 million shares. All-time highs yesterday for this thing were up again. Yeah, wow. 10% now for XPEV. I mean, we can look at NIO, another one. All-time highs yesterday. Here we go again, back to the upside.
Yeah, and like we said, XPeng just leading the group today, which is a bit of a first. I mean, you're getting obviously another gap. You do see how strong the follow-through is. Just worth noting. I mean, you look at this break to the upside off the open. It never even pulled back into pre-market lows. So if you're looking to even consider buying a dip into this move, you're probably thinking about having to step in at like 29.50, maybe even as close as 30 even, or simply play the break. And one thing that's certainly been true is there has been pretty good opportunities to roll over into shorts, at least in XPeng from what I've noticed. And I wouldn't be looking at that until, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, we're probably talking about another move up like this, and we're looking at like 32.50, 35, some levels like that that'll come into play. First things first, I mean, if we hold 29 and 29.50, that price area, it looks like we're probably all systems go to run again. This is just crushing shorts. The only hesitation should be that NEO wasn't quite as strong, and we have seen that lead the group. If NEO's breaking through the bottoms, I would hesitate to take this one breaking out.
XPEV. Yeah, why is it not working? It's .ny. Okay, so here we go. I was just looking at NEO and I switched back over. So yeah, no reason why you can't just take this top either, guys. $30.75 just makes perfect sense to try to blow this one out. I mean, they're just ripping up. You just see the action in the electronic market here for cars. The EV space has just been huge. So yeah, I don't see any way to fade this, and I wouldn't do that. I would just wait for it to break $30.75 and then get out like at 33 or something. We'll just see how high this wants to go. If it has the momentum in it, we've seen what NEO can do. That's going to be next on the list, and yeah, that just keeps on ripping up. Brendan, I don't know if you want to mention anything about NEO. It is on the list, and it's not really so specific to news today.
No, I mean, the entire group, we can talk about it if you want to have a look at NEO as well. I mean, it's the same thing. It's China, it's EV space. NEO has been the leader. We saw again yesterday, back to all-time highs. So yeah, let's talk about NEO.
Oh, yeah, the same play as yesterday, I think, reigns true. NEO was one of the highest stocks for me yesterday, and what we did was we let it settle down in the morning and then picked up. We actually were long down, basically down here at the virtual bottom yesterday. I think it was 36.76 or something that we were long and then able to go in, get out before this drop. The only thing we missed was this VWAP break. So that happens at 10 o'clock. So you got to watch out. There are moves possibly in NEO all day, right? I mean, and once they get going, it's very, very hard to stop this train. A few downward pullbacks there. And we talked about yesterday buying consolidation dips. So that happened. And again, if that's going to happen today, I think you can get back down. Unfortunately, it's hard to say this because we're at almost $39, but 37.20 is a nice little consolidation spot. So is 37.65. So we'll put some bids there, see if we get lucky to hit that. What we haven't done is look at the imbalance locator today, and this is why. So Hexo, marijuana stock, there's XPEV, we've talked about that. Uber will get, I don't know if we'll get to Uber, but we will be trading that today for sure. ACB on the buy, but there's NEO, guys, 1.7 million, so it's already done 7.5. We've got 1.6 sitting here. So yeah, that's probably pushing this up right now. Once the buy imbalance is gone, then it will probably fade back, which is, like I've been saying, is normally do. I'll be sitting here at 37.60, guys.
Yeah, I'll be watching one thing about NEO. If you go to just a 15-minute chart here, a couple of times in the last few sessions, I'm talking about the 28th, and then you can sort of go back to the 30th as well. If it has failed to break through previous day and pre-market highs, both of those two levels, it has ended up being sideways or slightly down. So that's why we'll be watching this very, very closely. 39.75, 39.50. That's why I give a bit of caution to the breakout in XPeng. If we don't get that type of a break on NEO at any of those levels in the first like 10, 15 minutes, the last couple of weeks, it's usually meant mostly sideways action NIO, and that could hold things a little bit. Worth noting, both of those days, it wasn't like it was a sharp sell-off either. It still recovered in the afternoon and ended up basically flat before ramping the following day. So I'm not saying it's going to roll over off a cliff, but it could slow down XPeng if NEO doesn't take out 40.
Lots more to get through this morning, guys. If you're wondering what on earth we're doing, this is the Morning Movers watch list. You can sign up in the link that Valeria will help you out with in the chat. If you have not done so already, it's absolutely free. We send it out to you every single morning before we come on at 9 a.m. All of the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market and why. And then we spend 9 to 9:30 talking about how we can potentially trade them coming up at the open. There's so many more to get through here, guys. General Motors, better than expected earnings out this morning, pointing towards stronger demand for trucks and SUVs. This has been a bit of a theme. We saw Ford reporting, same thing, higher demand for trucks and SUVs in their latest quarter, but decent numbers here for GM today, guys.
Rolling towards, trying to roll towards this 38 level, which will be a big one. You got to go all the way back into last year if we break 38 to find some highs in GM. And look, the car is everyone's fortress. It makes people feel safe in these COVID times. So you're seeing strong demand. Obviously, this is going to be true. GM just the latest to show this truth. I'm going to be defending yesterday's close. Now, ignore this wick. Forget about that. There was some pre-market action down around 36. but on very, very light volume, some overnight dumps. So I'd much more be interested in, if we look at the consolidation here, 36.60, yesterday's close at 35.25. If we come back halfway, we're probably looking to start defense at about 35.90 to 36 even. It has nothing to do with these pre-market levels. I'm just looking at where we're consolidating now relative to yesterday's close. So again, I'd like to be buying a dip in here. It does feel like the market, off of this move up, it wants to initially sell. That's what it seems like going into the open.
So I'll look at Ford. We talked about Ford down at 650. It makes a run to about 825 and then pulls back yesterday. Look, the thing for me here is obviously it's all about trucks. We talked about that. That's why we upgraded Ford about a month ago. And then now today GM comes out and basically says the same thing. So no surprise there. The thing is these stocks are still considered, in my opinion anyways, value stocks. They have dividends and whatnot. So I just don't see money flying into GM and Ford like I do into all these other tech names. So for me, Ford and GM, I'll stay away from them, but they're great stocks. And congratulations to anybody that's been bullish on the auto sector the last couple of months.
All right, guys, Alibaba, another one that reported earnings better than expected right across the board for the e-commerce giant coming out of China as well. So there's that aspect to this. They also said because of the Ant Group IPO being shelved, they're going to pay back all of the sign-up. So anyone who signed up to be a part of that IPO, they're going to refund all of that money. So the quarter itself was good. Q4 forecast, but they're also going to pay back the sign-ups for that IPO, guys.
Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was like 6 months a minimum that'll be before anything does happen with Ant. But I could be a little bit wrong about that. Look, ultimately, Alibaba, we did see some levels of support when it initially dropped down on this news. So, you know, we got this, it was a great bottom at 280, and then we talked about this at 285, 286 area, which it looks like once again, Alibaba is going to try to hold here. If we do flush through, I think it's one of those shorts where I'd much rather be sort of fading 284, 285 into what was such a strong buy down at 280, as opposed to trying to take a breakdown of the low, which is so close to what'll possibly be a wall in front of you. So any short, I think it's better off having it at 85 if you got to have it. If it tests 280 and bounces there, I'll try to go into a long, the same structure as before. Bounce off 280. If it gets into that 83 to 85 range and goes sideways, you buy it from there and then see how far you can go. You do have to watch out. Obviously, the recovery was a bit muted, paying everyone back. Maybe the NASDAQ selling back off just a little bit here. All of these things could possibly tend towards the 280 test. And that's going to be that big level that we'll be watching today.
Okay, yesterday, guys, those of you that watched us trade Alibaba, you know we crushed it. We took multiple dollars on this break right here. So if you could see, this is what we were. We waited. We were very, very patient. I wanted to get in Alibaba earlier yesterday. I mean, obviously it was election day, so lots of things happening. But we were very, very patient. We waited for this level to break. And when it did, man, it was very, very profitable. 291.50 all the way to the upside. It goes all the way to 298 and change. So we talked about that. We had that break yesterday, but it didn't happen until, near the end of the, near the end of the show, but 10:45 or so. So I'm kind of looking. Here's the same sort of situation right now for Alibaba. We're to the downside, but we still have this 88, so 89, I guess, 289 I like in Alibaba. If we can break that, we'll watch it, but I'm not going to take this right off the open. The share size and everything that I want to use on this, I'm not comfortable taking this here and then watching the market possibly retrace down. I was talking about the market being a little too overheated, and I get that feeling, but we'll wait. So 289 on Baba. We'll take a small spot there, but the bigger trade, I think, comes a little bit later once it settles down.
All right, guys, let's have a look at the overall market. We'll bring Arun in and get our daily dose of futures data here. We're up 1.6% here, Arun, heading towards the open. Top end of the daily chart range again. What do we have to look at here today?
I'm keeping an eye on 35.10. We just turned around here, so that will be the high, the overnight high. We just put in around 7 o'clock this morning, or no, it was like 6:30, 6:15 this morning. So that's the high. That's the most recent high. So I'll keep an eye on that, of course. And I think 34.55 on the bottom end. There seems to be a lot of action between 34.80 and going all the way down to 34.55. So I think that might be a roadblock for us. If we were to go down, that might be a roadblock that might just turn us right back around. So 34.80 going down to 34.55, I'm keeping an eye on for potential longs. And if we can break 35.10, that's an extension. So there's a long there as well. I'm going to keep a very close eye on 95 through evens. If we can actually properly set up, then I might want to take a short there, but that's not as strong as the 80 to 55 long that I would take. So a couple of trades there. 35.10 long, if you break it, break through to new highs. 34.80 going down to 34.55 can get you a potential bounce long. And then if you get a proper setup between 34.95 into the 3500s, then you have a potential short, but I'd be careful about that one because the momentum is to the buy side a little bit. So I just want to be careful with the short on that side, but the two longs are available for you there, Brennan.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check in again tomorrow with Arun. Before we get to the open, lots of little ones moving around. Not lots, but a few little ones moving around this morning. Altus Midstream, ALTM here up almost 100% now. This is a former SPAC that is now oil and gas company. 3 million free float on this stock. It's done about 400,000 already and moved this much, worth noting, moved that much on 400,000. $15 down here, we're at 20. I was just looking at a daily chart. I mean, 22 to 23, maybe you run into a little bit of resistance, but big high flyer already, guys. ALTM, better than expected earnings on this one.
Yeah, that one is absolutely going crazy there. There is one other small cap, Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment, a bit of a deal with I think it was like NFL films or something along those lines. You're going to try to guess which one we don't have locates on today. Yeah, it's going to be HOFV. I mean, the retracement is so obvious and on in this one. So giving just about everything back. It's gone from $6 to $3, but $2 where it closed yesterday. You see the news there at the bottom. I would love to have this one. I was looking at a 330 break to the downside. That already happened. We don't have any shorts on it, but we do have that KXIN. It is starting to make a bit of a bounce and a play off of that 485, 490 area that we're sort of talking about a little bit earlier. It's going to be an interesting test to see if it holds above this pricing. If it does, it's been looking strong all morning. I think that's going to be the key. I'm not shorting it. Unless it breaks and holds below after the open, or we get a test of either 550 or 630 to that upside. So a lot of things for us to be watching. That ALTM looks like it could go crazy. Liquidity very low on that, so I would watch out for potential of halts. And you can't really size up too much on that, and I would expect some halts on the upside if it keeps going.
I know a lot of you are looking at Palantir with me. We put a buy on this, and again, I know a lot of you watch the show also for some, longer-term plays. We put a buy on Palantir down at $9.50. We're up to $11 right now. I think 11.05 break. We'll take that. So that's a stock that we'll look at. And another one that we've been pretty good on, and we just talked about this the other day, picking up some DraftKings in the low 30s, mid 30s. I guess that's as far as it went. You're going to see today now DraftKings to the high side, 41.50, and still making moves. We talked about. This is the only reason why we put some buys on DraftKings. Not only the only reason, but we fell down from $65 all the way down here into mid 30s. And you cannot go wrong if you want to talk about investments a little bit. Whenever you get, areas like this where you have some consolidation, especially on fresh IPOs like DraftKings, you do have, some buyers and some interest here. So between 30 and 40, there's a lot of back and forth. We were able to pick some up. I think it was 35.25 or something was our buy. So now we're up to 41. I'm not getting out. I think we go all the way back to the high side. But congratulations. I just wanted to bring that up to anybody that was long DraftKings. And we'll look at 41.50 now. That's, it's obviously it's way up. DraftKings hasn't moved great intra-market the last couple days. Some of the moves have actually been faded down. So I'm not going to take DraftKings off the open whatsoever. You'll see me in that Cation. Neil just talked about it. I'm still the same position. It goes right down to VWAP. We're still waiting for a 480 break. That probably happens. This is not a huge position. It's just one that if we do get to that $6 level that Neil was mentioning, that I will obviously be really well off. So we'll hold that for that and we'll wait. Otherwise, 480. So it's about like a 50-cent risk either way here, and I think it's worth it, especially there. So XPEV, we're going to look at that to take out the top. NEO's going as well. We already have that, and Qualcomm through 148. So much to trade, guys.
Yeah, and the production team having some fun over here. But it's on the list here, a Hanes brand. Wait till we get our Hanes off you, because you don't want to be guiding lower when everyone's sandbagging earnings during COVID, and you then guide lower. Not a great sign. You're trading off 13%. Short sell restricted right into this 1370 support area. We already bounced off it in the pre-market. I'll be selling this one in front of 15 today if it catches any kind of a bit of a bounce there. So I look to pile in on Hanes here just with that weak guidance. Watching XPeng here already make a move towards the top there. I was initially thinking that NEO could drag this one to the downside, so you'd be looking at a dip buy on XPEV. So far, that does not seem to be the case. It's making a run at that 30.75. I talked about my reluctance to short it until a little bit later on in the session, or a little bit higher prices like 32.50 or something like that. That ALTM looks like it's starting to come back in. It just got to $20 below 16. I'd be much more comfortable shorting that one as well. But XPeng, front of the mind here, is headed towards the top. Valeri is on the belt, and okay, there you go. Countdown on. For a second, though, I thought I hit the wrong key, but I did not.
No, I hit that because I think XPeng is going to cook through 35 there. Okay, let's go. Good job, Larry. We are now open. Watch out for your Bitcoin investments and whatnot as Bitcoin nearing that 15,000 again. We have Qualcomm. We're waiting for that to break through 145. Other than that, man, XPEV, Palantir, everything. We're just waiting for these stocks to bust through. Watching Qualcomm, seeing if we can't make a bottom.
That didn't happen, did it? Sorry, no, I just had this weird wick down to 141 on Qualcomm, and I mean, it didn't have the stock up. I mean, if it went down there, that was a missed opportunity. Talked about 142 and 137 as some potential dips. I don't think it really did that off the open. That seems crazy to me. Holding 145 for now on Qualcomm. Also waiting for the open on XPeng here, right back down to 30. KXIN, I'm only shorting if it breaks at 480, but it looks like Qualcomm, the dip could be on. Watching 142, 137 first turn going long Qualcomm.
Okay, CGC could break through 20. I think that's a trade that we could take here. CGC up pretty high today. We could take this break back down through 20. Downside right there. The high side on CGC, $20.65. I don't even see that we're open yet. I don't think. No, we're not. So we're going to wait on CGC to get open here, guys.
Yeah, also looking at Tilray just over in the same space as well. This stock still up that 13%, but it is testing towards low. KXIN just broke that 85, so I took my first short there at 82s, and still watching XPeng trying to test the highs. Tilray, if it's not going to hold this 677, I'm going to walk away from any idea of going long in this name, and I want to be fading ACB. So a breakdown, I think we'll be looking to get in some ACB.
Okay, yeah, Aurora Cannabis, big name there, guys. We'll also be looking to get into some of these cannabis spaces as we go. What's up, Brandon?
Upwork, guys, UPWK or on the NASDAQ, I guess it is, online employment agency, Upwork. This is all-time highs up here, big gap to the upside, 36% after better than expected earnings, guys.
Okay, we're already into XPEV here, so it already broke. I don't know if it's open yet. We're in and out for a nice little win there, so we're already ringing the registers, man. Long at 30.70. I don't know. I'm just going to get out of this. I don't know. I guess it's going to be opening right now, it looks like, XPEV, but we're long, guys, and just took some out.
Yeah, I think that's always a smart play. When you do get a breakout without the NYSE opening the stock, typically it can be a good idea to wait for it. That's why Sean slips out of the trade there. And you're just going to see all these stacked NYBs. We haven't had an official open, but it does seem like it's going to open higher, guys. It looks like it is going to open higher. Brendan, what's up?
Plug Power, another one starting to go here again. Back to that EV space. Plug Power, 7.5%. Coming up to $18. Was just checking on this high up here. Is $19.15 for Plug, guys.
Guys, we're doing this already on XPEV, man. Yeah, we're long here, and we're already huge. So we're long at $30.70. We'll just see. It's the only trade that we have on. We also have Palantir long at 95, looking like it wants to break 11 right now. So that's a nice little 5-cent winner. But yeah, I don't know. XPEV, we just got some out above 31 there. So good little trade, but this one could fade in still.
Yeah, it looks like when it opened up, that's when I finally took the break in XPeng, and it looks like it does want to seem to come back in here. Look, you got to watch out for a couple of things. This first little level at 30.25, that was the initial sort of, I guess, like a ramp to the upside here at the open when it didn't open up. For me, I can't let it go past 30.25 in the dip. I think you'll have some better prices to pick up. Just going over that KXIN, it looks like the roll is on in that name. And Qualcomm headed towards that 142, looking for my dip buy in Qualcomm. But first things first, can we hold 30.25 on XPeng?
I don't know. I just went more long on XPEV right there. Big position now at $30.40. So, yeah, good little long here as we just continue to watch this thing make moves. Our actual average price now is 58. So we'll wait to see. And I'm with you, Neil. If it does break down below that 30.25, we'll flash out of that one pretty quickly. Okay, here we go, guys. Palantir, we already did it, man. This is a Superman type of trade already. Palantir long at 10.95 and out. And here we go. Now we go longer on Palantir, baby. Boom! Boom, a big win for us on this side. Wow, Greg, Palantir, ripping. Let's go, guys. XPEV, hello.
Yeah, there goes
Everything
XPeng,
going,
guys.
We are monsters.
All the way to 31,
Boom.
through 31 in XPeng, so it does hold that 30.25. That's what we're looking for. You're going to see busy with some executions in there as we're dip buying, getting out in front of 31. If we continue this push, we're all over it. Qualcomm just dipped towards that 142. So first dip buy on that name looks pretty good. And there goes XPEV. I said 32.50 is the first price I would consider shorting it. I feel like we could get there a heck of a lot faster than anticipated. But yesterday, NEO was leading the pack. Today was XPeng. That's exactly what you're seeing. I do have to go monitor Qualcomm, of course. Let's not ignore this strong name. It does look like the bounce on. No, it did not just go to 145 while I was in the money. That's just a dark pool print. It's trying to turn right here at 142. I have 142.59, not the greatest entry price, not that close to my target. So I have to treat this very carefully. 144.50 to 145, I think, would be a good bounce back to the upside. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Just watching Nikola here, guys. Nikola up 3.5%, a little bit of volume coming in. 19, big time level here. GM CEO coming out this morning saying no deal yet, but talks are continuing and they're hopeful for a deal for Nikola, guys.
Oh, good job. Well, I mean, yeah, hopefully. Oh, good. I'm a big Nikola shareholder, too. Look at XPEV, guys. That's why you're seeing all those graphics. It's a big hitter right now. We take out the big stick for that. We told you we were huge on this stock, and we are. 935, goal met. It is a done day already. The cows are already coming through, guys. Palantir, already monstrous as well. I don't know what happened to this stock, though. We were cruising at 11.20, 11.30. We got out, and then all of a sudden, one candle down to the downside there, but $1.70 in the money. Look at this out right there on XPEV. We just keep on going upside right now, guys. This has been a monster day. Thank you for joining us. We are not even close to being done, but the money's come in. I made more money already today than I did yesterday, and yesterday was insane. So look, XPEV, boom, another reload down here at $30. Just taking this to the high side. We don't short this stock. No way, guys. This stock just motors to 32 and change. More than a $2 winner on this name. I hope you have it. I don't even know what NEO's doing. I'll go back over there. But right now,
it doesn't matter what NEO's doing.
Champion.
NEO was not strong as XPEV was this morning. But guess what else is looking strong? Qualcomm, 137, 142. Turn on a dime, 141.75. We're now in the money in this as well, about $1.75. I talked about 144.50 for a bounce little target there. I'm not going to stare a gift horse in the mouth. If it gives me that $2, I'm going to go ahead and take it. A bit of a turn there on XPeng, and look, I'm not shorting this one. It's entirely too quick. I talked about a time horizon for shorting it as well later on in the session. I mean, if we're going to already go $2 on this name with a dip that held 325, I'm not shorting it, like I said, just yet. We might even think about dip buying to 31. Brennan, what's up?
Yeah, the whole group going here. Lee Auto, I should say. Another one, almost 10% here, $28. We're in all-time high territory for Lee Auto as well, guys.
Sorry, I didn't have my earpiece in. That's why I couldn't hear Brendan there. So we'll put that in right now. And yeah, look, I have to basically just start looking at something else now because we just crushed this stock, Palantir. We crushed it, and then we absolutely destroyed XPEV, man. Like some of these outs were just ridiculous. Obviously, I wish we still had them. My style is to take big shares and then scalp them out for these wins. So there you go, guys. I mean, what a big day. Congratulations to everybody on that. And it's just been a monster there. We can check back in some of these weed names. We don't have anything on that. KXIN, we got out of that one real quick as soon as that broke. So again, this was nothing. We took a shot at this. I told you it's 50 cents one way or the other. Believe me, if I had a lot of shares on here, I wouldn't be super happy with the way XPEV went and Palantir. So Palantir just actually faded back down. So we've got to watch out for this one, guys.
And I'll take you over to, I do have a one short position on. It is that KXI. I was waiting for it to break that 485. It did. I got 82, sorry. Checked some out here at 46, sorry, at 60 for a 20-cent win. A few more shares out in front of 450. Remember, there was that double bottom that started this whole strong push to the top. That was at 420. I'll definitely take shares off in front of it. Do not ignore levels like that on a name which is relatively strong and doing volume to the upside like that in the pre-market. So take some profit at 420. Be very, very happy with that return. Look, I mean, I don't know where XPeng is going to go. At this point, you start thinking about if you can't even buy a dip, confidently, it doesn't even give me the shot to get anywhere near to that 31 area that I would have liked. I mean, obviously, it's well gone from there. Let's talk about things like holding 32.50 obviously would be a psychological level. 35,
Holy
which seems
crap.
crazy, certainly feels like it's going to come into play at some point today. So let's think about those levels there. Qualcomm, I really only wanted to dip by for a couple of bucks. I think there's breakout trades that you can take on their own in Qualcomm. It'll be a little bit different from some of these other trades. You're buying a dip. I think it'll run into some resistance at 145.50, and maybe sideways action gets you another buying opportunity. For now, we are in the money, about $1.70 in Qualcomm, looking for 2, and then looking for a re-entry, guys.
Okay, yeah, we're trying to look at Bitcoin here, but I mean, XPEV is $2 in the money, and Palantir is just getting even higher right now, so good trade. I did get a little nervous on that drop, so we did drop some at 11.10 there. We gave this to you at 95. I told you 111.05 was the go, and this was a big position, big shares right there at 11.05. That's why you see me going crazy to the upside there. We are, again, we're bigger than we even were yesterday here. XPEV just continues to go to the high side right now. We only have on less than 10% of this. I wish we had more, but we don't. So XPEV just going nuts right now. And so is Palantir going high side. That's 10 cents in the money. Let's check out our favorite stock, though, AMD. Check this out for Rob, $83. So AMD does come back down. Lots to look at today. What's up, Beep?
I just saw this Datadog. Some of the software names and also cloud names showing some strength early on here. DDOG up 6.25% here. Just went from 103 to 104. A little thinly traded, but on the move as well, guys.
We did want to be fading one particular name in the cannabis space. Hopefully you guys were paying attention. We're looking at ACB for a short trade. Now, obviously, things got a little bit busy at the open with some bigger moves and bigger fish to fry. But ACB is sliding back in, giving a bunch of that breakout back this morning. I'm looking at this $5 area. Obviously, there was a shot here when it rolled over at 5.20. The next leg will be like 5 to 5.10. I think you can have a bit of an entry point if there is going to be a continued fall. Just watch out for some of the tech names. We just bounced back above 1,200, headed towards that high that Arun likes for a breakout. So if you hadn't been following some of the tech names, could get a break there. Watching Qualcomm in particular, which I'm still long at 142.60. I want a couple of bucks off that. If we continue higher, should be easy peasy to get it.
Yeah. Everything. Look at Palantir, guys. Up to 28, up to 30. Like, I'm hella long this stock, sub 10. So, Greg, this is a good stock for us right now, my friend. I keep yelling to Greg because we both put this on below 10 and a little bit above 10 as well. So, good little trade here happening for Palantir, guys. We're still long at 11.07 on this name. So, we're watching everything right here. I think we might as well just get some out here at 32 if we can. Why not? There we go. Let's go here. Palantir just keeps on ripping, man. I don't know, Brendan, is there news on Palantir today? I mean, up 6%, just going absolutely nuts, man. Well, our big long was 11.05. It's still going.
Yeah, I don't know if if Brendan has anything, definitely he's going to come back to us. I just have to go over to Qualcomm here because you got to watch. I'm trying to get this 144.50. That's exactly the top end of the range, which is failing to break. You see this consolidation and moving higher? Yeah, I'm canceling that offer. If we're going to go sideways and hold this higher low $1 in the money, how about hang on to the trade, put a higher target in. If I think there's going to be resistance at 145.50 at 146, let's see if we can get a couple extra bucks out of it, especially with the market going in our favor. So a bit of an adjustment real time long in this Qualcomm bottom pick. I like 42 and 37. It's 42 where the turn is happening. There goes VWAP right now. So a couple of dollars in the money on Qualcomm. Love this one to the upside. Let's see if we can get about 3, maybe 3.5. Brendan, what's up?
Yeah, not seeing anything on Palantir, guys. Next Thursday, earnings for Palantir, the 12th. So we'll remember that. Jinko Solar here, another one. 15%. Remember, this thing just went absolutely crazy about 3 weeks ago and has come back into the $60 level. But 15% for JKS, guys.
Yeah, don't worry. Well, I won't forget that Palantir earnings number, but thank you so much for that one, Brendan. Yeah, okay. So that's good. I mean, when stocks are doing this on basically no news, that's a great sign here for Palantir. I may actually get out of some. I mean, $9 up to $11.50, pretty impressive. I think we'll do that. We didn't look at DraftKings. I mean, I still have that XPEV. It's a small 10%. I'm thinking about just getting out right now because it's already making its move. DraftKings, we talked about the move early. That would probably happen, and that's exactly what did happen. open, 41.50. And then I said the intraday moves on DraftKings aren't that great. So you're seeing that right now. It just kind of does this and does nothing. So now we'll have to wait again on DraftKings. It's not moving enough for me to do anything about it right now. So we'll pass on DraftKings for now. XPEV, just to give you a little bit of a look, that break was 31.50 to the downside. We have less than 10%. It's like 7% left of our trade. So we'll wait on that one. But I mean, we're already monstrous on it. I think we'll just give it back to down here, the consolidation, just in case. I mean, I don't know. Does it want to go more than 16%? I don't know. We'll see. But if it keeps going upside, then that's what we have on board. I'm going to try to find some more for you guys. Alibaba.
Guys, I want to go to this Altus midstream ALTM that Brendan was mentioning here. It's very, very thinly traded. Made a spike into the open, but once volume came in, it was downside volume. So this thing started to get sold off here. Now, look, obviously they had a good quarterly profit. Up 75% is a huge number. I almost said ridiculous, but you know, every company is different here. I just want to note the fact that when selling comes in on that kind of volume after a parabolic move up, you got to think about testing the weakness. I'm looking at 18.50 to 19, and I know it's a cheaper stock. It's not the most expensive in the world, but think about a bigger range here. You're probably out of 50 cents to $1 before you have any inkling that you're wrong. So any short I take at like 18.50 or so, I really am giving it quite some room, because I think 16 would be that target to the downside if you got the short. So 2.5 worth it if it pops up. I'm going to look to fade this one, ALTM. Brendan, what's up?
Just reading into this, but pharmaceutical company here, Bluebird Pharmaceuticals, big move down, 22%. Just about to make a day low there, $45. They had a sickle cell anemia treatment they were working on that failed, it looks like, in a late stage trial. So watch blue on the NASDAQ, guys.
Never, I don't know. It's obviously bad news. You got to look to fade some names like that, but never good when something like that does fail, like a drug trial. So, yeah, it kind of stinks. I just want to get back over to XPeng. Of course, you guys have seen this one. We're looking at 31. Now watching 31, 40, 50 VWAP try to hold here. You know, I'm not going to hold it back through that 31 price. I would have loved that dip buy strong on the way up. When you already had the parabolic move, it's like one of those, it either holds VWAP to get to a higher high, or if it breaks 31, I do feel like the dip is probably heading closer towards 30. So I'm going to trail out of this one. It'll only be a buck for the rest. I know the rest of it looked pretty good here at the top. But at that point, I think we have bigger fish to fire, better prices to pick up. So I'm going to put a trail in below VWAP, not at. I don't like stops that are at VWAP. It just feels like too obvious of a level, and you'll get wicked out. Oops.
Okay, Qualcomm, 145.50 or so. I like that long if we can break it back above it. So let's get ready to go. Qualcomm long, 145.50 on a break. If we can get that, that's good. Wow, Palantir, guys, 41 cents now in the money. Valeria, I know you love some Palantir. This stock is going nuts right now. Up to 40, up to 11.50. We're hella long at 11.05. It doesn't get much better than that, guys. Palantir just going nuts right now, and we are so happy to have that. My eyes are looking everywhere as we're trying to get some new trades for you. I like that Qualcomm. And wow, guys, 42 cents in the money, Palantir up to 11.50. That's a hell yeah, and that's your chicken dinner winner today. We make more money on XPEV, but who cares? We've given this one to you guys. Palantir, we're 2 for 2 today. Oh, we have a loss on Cation. 2 for 3. Palantir just killing it though, guys. What's up, Brendan?
We're still heading northbound here on this Qualcomm, but watch out. This is that level we talked about, pre-market bottoms, 145.60. I'm holding this long. I think if we break in here, we do have that target range of the pre-market range. If it fails, I'll trail out of it at that 60 price. Otherwise, you're looking for a clean break, and we talked about 150 in the pre-market. Well, I'll be damned if we're not getting there pretty quick. Brendan, what's up?
Just looking at Expedia here. We mentioned it briefly in the pre-market. They're 8% now for Expedia. Actually posted better than expected earnings. Aftermarket, you can see a big move up to 104. We're at 106.50 now for Expedia, guys.
All right, I'm just going to post this Palantir trade up on Twitter now. I mean, it's been a big one for us today. And yeah, we're super happy. 11.50, like I'm super excited just for everybody that owns this stock right now. Big move upside. Remember, cybersecurity and whatnot, Peter Thiel. So there's lots about this company that we like. And this is just going to be another one here. Palantir just ripping to the high side right now as we look to get out. There's my Qualcomm. Another position long, guys. Let's see if we can't floss this one off as well. Qualcomm, new position long. Already in the money, 25 cents.
Yeah, I just think if it can chew through this like a $1 to $1.50 pre-market chop range, I mean, this thing's going to test that 150. Just been entirely too strong. We're getting a bit of a bounce there in XPeng, XPEV. You know what? Either one works. It doesn't matter which one we say. It's XPEV. Cation here, KXIM. We talked about the only way that I was going to be shorting this name given its relative strength. It is trying to round down towards that 420. A bit of a double bottom there in the pre-market. That's why I'm taking some shares off for the 45-cent win. Look, if you can stare that in the face and you know support down there, why not do it? I will short a pop into about 470, 480 where we had it before, and then see if we run to that bottom. If we make another low, hold a higher low a couple of times off that 420, I'll walk away from that short because maybe this one wants to take another run at that high if you can do that.
Okay, we floss it off, guys. Another one here. Big time win again. 145.60 up to 146.20 there. Quick 80 cents there on Qualcomm. And still moving, guys. You still have a third of this, 2/3 of this position on as we're just making moves, guys, today. Yes, sir. Exploding the money. We're just, I mean, I don't know. I can't tell everybody else's positions, but hopefully you guys have this. Palantir just keeps on going, Valeria, all the way up. 11.60. We're long down here at 10.95, 11.05. I don't even have time to tweet this out. We're still going crazy, and we're watching out for Qualcomm as it just ticks high there. We did have some resistance at 147, so I think let's get some out 146.50 and then hold the last third for a big win. We'll take out $1 right now on Qualcomm. We just took out 75 cents. We'll take out $1 if it gets to 146.50 and then hold the last one for the ride.
Yeah, I just trailed my Qualcomm here. Look, I talked about that range. We're in that pre-market range now. So if it breaks and holds below that 145.50, give it a few extra pennies there from that even dollar. I'll just trail out of it, try to lock in just under a couple of bucks here on that Qualcomm. It's been a fantastic morning, obviously. Let's throw a disco ball up there because I feel like we never use that one enough. I do want to jump back over to ACB. Now, obviously, you're not going to catch every single trade, and thankfully did not force the action in ACB shorting. Yeah, we're going to miss some good levels in the pre-market. Look at this bounce here, guys. Just made a 10% recovery. Good news is we're right back to what was a bit of resistance all pre-market long, 540 to 550. If we get a roll over there, looks like we'll get the short that we probably preferred at about 8 o'clock if we'd had it in ACB. This is the one I'm going to pick on, at least for a short trade. And XPeng back towards that 32.50 area, so back in the money a couple of bucks there. 33, actually higher than 33 is the current high of the day, so well on its way to 35 if it can get there. Crazy, crazy move.
Yeah, we're on the way to XPEV right now. We still got that long. There's Qualcomm. What a banger that was. We just took out another $1 on that name. Qualcomm just continues to be the name that everybody wants it to be. It's just been fantastic. Upside Qualcomm, man. And we are just crushing these names today, guys. Everything. Qualcomm, Palantir, and XPEV, the big ones. Cation was a very, very small hit. We talked about that already. Now it's embarrassingly small compared to what we've done to these other names. What's up, B?
DocuSign, another one to have a look at here. Just saw this one, 4% to the upside, 245. This thing has a huge range today, almost $10 range on DocuSign. Not seeing anything in the way of news on this, but big move for DocuSign, guys.
Well, I mean, that's sort of one of those names that if you're going to think about safe plays, everyone's completely ignoring. I get the election's big news, but everyone's sort of being completely ignoring the fact that you see further lockdowns. The stay-at-home play is definitely going to be there. Then DocuSign plays right into that. I think that's why you're seeing a bit of a gap to the upside. I mean, XPEV, there it goes back again. Qualcomm now in the money, $3. I'm looking at. I mean, it's crazy. I actually had the first position against me, and believe it or not, it's ACB, and I talked about fading this. And we'll see what happens here, but I picked some up. It looked like it was rolling over, so 525. It's a little bit away from that 550 level, so I do have to be careful how much I do dig in at this price level. I should be a little bit more patient, either wait for it to break down below 520 or let it test higher and then roll over and catch it on the way down. No need to force the trade, not on a day like today when it's already working so great.
Oh, man, Microsoft just, I mean, all of these stocks are just blowing, like, unbelievable, man. Like, we're long Microsoft, low 200s. We talked about that just even a couple days ago, man. So what a big trade this has been, up to 223. Let's check out the daily charts. I mean, what are the all-time highs here for Microsoft? 232. I don't know if we get to that in the next couple days, but wow, we are breaking through this, 225. So that's kind of what we're waiting for, is this 225. I don't want to catch things. Like, I don't want to just keep going long like we already have. You can see the longs that we have in right now. So we're already long the market, but Microsoft has been just a jamming stock. stock to the upside right there. And I want to do, Valerio just went to go refill the coffee. I feel like it's getting cold in here again. Qualcomm making moves to the upside once again, man. We dumped out half there and then a third. Now we still have a third. We talked about trying to hold on to these things just a little bit longer, but Qualcomm's still going. AMD still going, like everything, man. What about CGC? We tried to take that 20 break, but it didn't happen there. I don't know what happened. I don't know if we don't have enough shortable shares. If that's true, we should be able to go over to Canada and you could trade this weed.to.
Yeah, that's exactly. I checked out. I think it was like Tilray. We had to pay for shorts as well.
Yeah.
But it's an advantage we have being able to trade in Toronto to get some locates if they're not there. I was about to get into this ALTM, but I'm trying to be picky. This stock has, like, at times, you see it right here, like a 30-cent spread. So not the easiest for entry point on an $18 name. I was trying to get some around that $18.50 price, but as much as it says it ticked up here, there were no bids up at those prices. You would have been shorting, the high 18s and low 17s if you wanted to be taking it, guys. XPeng just came back and trailed me out. I talked about putting a trailing stop in there. It broke VWAP, broke this low. So last exit will be at 31. It looks like 31.25 or so we'll be getting out of this. We had buying the dip all the way back in front of 30.25. 31.25 is my last out. So it's been a wild ride in XPeng. Maybe it's not done. Let's see what happens if it tests back down towards that opening range pullback. That was like 30.50 held. 30.25 was the level I was watching.
Yeah. XPEV nuts. And we'll be trading a hell of a lot more of that one as we see exactly the kind of damage that you can do on XPEV. I had no idea that it was going to move like that. I've watched the last couple of days going absolutely crazy. I mean, here's Qualcomm. I know Neil has it as well, but we'll just keep on hitting the catapult for this one. What a great stock. I talked about it being like Tupperware, hog, everything like that. They come in with a blowout quarter. We let it settle down, and then your boy just absolutely cowbells that one, and we take a nice little trade for that one. That is Qualcomm. But Brendan always has more names. What's up, man?
Yeah, some of the other semiconductors being dragged along with this. Skyworks here, SWKS, just taking out that high as well. That pre-market high there, 144.25, on decent volume, worth mentioning. So the entire semiconductor group, guys, leading tech stocks so far.
And talk about being patient, and thank goodness I'm being patient on ACB. I'm not even sure I want to add to that one. I'm looking over. I do have Qualcomm up here because I was just adjusting my stop. No longer going to be trailing it to 144.50. Obviously, that's a little crazy. You can do like, dollar trail, 50-cent trail. I tend to use levels for trails here just to track my results here. So I'm going to use like a 146, just underneath this 146.50 area, between that and 146 even. It looks like it is breaking towards 150. I'm not holding it through that price. It's psychological level, obviously. If it turns around anywhere near 149, 149.50, I'll certainly take that one off. But let's just see how far it can go. It's been ridiculously strong. As has ACB, which was not what I was exactly anticipating here, but you are getting a strong bounce up. I'm not even adding to this position, even though I left myself some room to do so. Not going to happen. Started it too early at 525 when I was watching a 550 level. I'm just going to take the hit and run if it breaks 550 to the upside. Clearly wrong about shorting into ACB strength, and you're going to see it blow through the top here. It gets a couple of pennies above 550, and I'm just going to get out. If this level somehow were to hold, then I would think about getting in.
What's up, Beep?
Apps, Digital Turbine here. We talked about this one. I believe it was Friday, I want to say. This day here, they had earnings, but it's just been straight higher since then. So APPS again today, 8.7%. Another software name having quite the day, guys.
All right. Palantir, again, now I'm holding a small amount, but it just made a huge high of 1170 there, up 9%. Just loving this name, obviously, today. So we're going to watch out for that. Just to give you a Qualcomm, I'm not getting out of this thing until 146. So I've already decided that. And again, if it gets to 150, great. We probably will get out at that point, but we are long 145. XPEV, I know Neil was talking about getting out VWAP, or I'm not sure where you got out, maybe 31?
I let it break VWAP on me there, about like 10 cents or so.
Okay, yeah, so that's it. So I'm just going to give it basically to the bottom of these wicks down here, 31.30 or so. We'll wait for that, and then if that happens, we'll get out of XPEV. But right now, $2 plus, and still going higher right now. And there it is. I was going to say, you could just maybe even take that break right now at 148 if you want to add to your qual composition if you're not in it right now. I'm in at 145 here, so this is a pretty good trade so far to the high side. I'm just really upset that we haven't done much on Bitcoin today. That's GBTC. It's so hard to trade this thing and talk about everything. It's just been up. We were loaded up down here, and then we got too nervous and had to dump it. But GBTC, that's Bitcoin. Shout out to Jeff Mendel, good friend of ours, the VP over there at OTC Markets. Hopefully he's going to come on. Oh, that reminds me, guys. He'll hopefully be coming on for this one. Is this the right one? Did I just push? No? Okay, coming up number one. No, I want the one for our recordings. You guys have that one? Let's hit that if you can. Today at 1 o'clock, we're going live with more. Here we go, with our market wisdom coming up. And that last one, 5, Hertz delisting. That's what we're going to talk hopefully about too with the VP of OTC Markets. So catch us live, 1 p.m. It's only going to be a 5 or 10 minute segment, as are every single one of those. Do this one thing to improve trading profits. Hey, I got a good one for you. How about watch Trader TV live, guys?
Well, that goes without saying, but it's obviously fantastic advice for everyone there.
Welcome.
Make sure you check this out because you don't always get experts live on YouTube for you, and we're going to have that, guys. KXIN, I talked about this. If it gets to 420, you got to take some off what was the support level in the pre-market, and it did ramp up. It got another 20% move when it bounced here. That's why you'll see some profit taking down there for about a 45-cent win. It's around that 10%. I'm going to hold the rest. If it breaks 420, I think we're headed right down to this level, like a 365 to 370, and then we can think about almost getting a $1 win on the last 20% of our position here. Now, obviously, if it pulls back up, there's some shorts that can be had in the 60 to 70 range using the same support levels. I wouldn't take that to high a day. I'd be getting out around that 485, which was the breakdown price on KXIN. Looks like I got shook on XPEV as it's back up through 32. Yeah, can't seem to stop that one. Just keeps on going to the upside. Qualcomm, on the other hand, I'm going to keep trailing it up here. It just broke 148 and is holding higher, 146.50. I'm not going to give it that much room back into the downside anymore. I'll probably look at this 147, you look at it right before it rolled over at the open. That was a nice little price. So 147. We'll lock in about $4 to $4.50 on this trade. Otherwise, we're getting out in front of 150, and wowzers if it breaks that.
Yeah, okay. So for XPEV, I was just looking. I'm thinking this is a decent spot, man. If we can get 32.55, we'll probably do that. So that's XPEV for 32.5. I'm wondering actually what's happening right now in a lot of these different markets. So why not throw it over to Brendan at the big screen with, coincidentally, a segment called Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets. Feel like this has been frozen since yesterday because it looks very similar to what we were talking about yesterday. You can see NASDAQ in charge once again, 2+% here to the upside for tech stocks today. The 100, 2.5%. Nice look. Dow Jones, 1.5%. S&P 500, about 1.8% at this point. So again, 2 days in a row, that post-election rally we were talking about extending. Even the Russell, we saw this one kind of struggling yesterday to even get back to break even, but up nicely today, 1.6%. Here in Toronto, 1.6% for the TSX. Down in Brazil, about 1.5% for the BOVESPA, if you're following along in Brazil. Let's go over to a few things on the watch list. If you haven't signed up, guys, absolutely free to grab our watch list. Ask Valeria. She'll help you out. ALTM here, Altus Midstream, formerly a SPAC, posted better than expected results. We're still kind of stuck in this range. It's been between 17 and 18 for about an hour now. Not really doing much. We touched 2025 at the top. I don't really know what to do with this. It's kind of thinly traded. If it does get anywhere close to 22, 23, there's a little bit of resistance. But until we kind of break down below this 17, maybe come back up, retest it, and then look for a short. Not much to do on ALTM, I think, but nice mover today on huge volume. AMD on the watch list again today after a big move yesterday following the Goldman Sachs upgrade. This thing got flushed at the open, so a little bit of weakness today in AMD versus some of the other ones we were talking about. But look at this now, working its way back towards that 83.5. One more real quick, and then we'll get back to it. HBI Hanesbrands earnings were good. It was the guidance was bad. We're looking to break day lows here. Monster volume on HBI, guys. Back to you.
Speaking of monster volume and crazy action, HOFV, this also on our watch list, Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company. Wowzers just halted up here. Volatility halted, open in 2, maybe 3 minutes or so. I'll get to Qualcomm in a second. That just trailed me out. But look, some levels to watch. I didn't think this would come into play. 713 if we get there. As with any one of these parabolic moves, once we've halted to the upside, it has to hold lower than one of the previous halt prices or get a downward halt. This could be the first of many. Do be very, very careful holding through a halt. It just went almost 100% to the upside before this first halt. And watch out at 712. If it gets past there, we'll revise some of those levels for you in real time. But a couple of minutes till that open. Qualcomm, for me, we're going to go with doing some backflips on this trade. I forget when I mentioned this yesterday, but one of the things you got to think about is, and ignore this wick, did not trade down. There's just a dark pool, guys. If you do find a situation where your position looks much stronger than you anticipated it being, either the market is in your favor or the level of consolidation is favoring you in a bullish sense, like it was here at 144.50, just hang on to your trade. Think about a trailing stop. I allowed it to go a little further than I was anticipating. I thought maybe we'd get like a $3 to $3.50 win there. On the last of my shares, I'll take about $5. So you extend it a little bit. I think maybe we can still test 150. Big level for Qualcomm. I like dip buys. It was 142 and 137. Whichever one of those was going to be the turn, that's where we look to pick it up on the way up. You give up about 70 cents or to $1 doing it that way, but at least you know it's bouncing off of the level you're looking at as opposed to just standing in front of the sword. And then what if it was 137 that was the bottom? Then I'm out $5 and having to make a big decision.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so we're doing a little opposite there. We're going to hold to see if we can get to 150, but Neil had a better price, so that makes sense. You got to capture your profits. We're going to give it down. What did I give it to? 147.12 or so. So we got to break back down through 147. So right now, still a $3 winner here. And I agree, man. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth when you do have it. But right now, we're monstrous in everything. I wish I had that attitude for Palantir because I got most of them out here for like about a 20, 30 cent win. Before ripping to the high side, and I just have been tweeting out like how incredible this move has been, and I'm wondering if we even take it again on an 1170 break. I'm thinking small. Let's try it on an 1170 break small here. Qualcomm, it just still bouncing, man. It's not really doing too much. 148 and change. I still think we could test this 150, but we got to watch out for the NASDAQ making moves now. So if this comes back down, then yeah, we will get hit out on our Qualcomm trade. So that's what's moving right now. Microsoft continues to go to the high side. Let's check in on the best of breed here. One of my investments that we have, I checked. The last purchase on this was not okay. Good. I was going to say the last purchase on this was $94. So really happy with the action on JP Morgan today. Little bit nervous about banks though, guys, under this new regime.
Yeah, and HOFV does open lower than this $6 level. Well, 585 technically here was around that halt price. No locates for me, so I mean that would be a condition to test that short in front of that fresh high. Obviously, one level that you'd be looking at for target out would be down around the first consolidation point, 440. It might get there, but look, I can't trade. I can just let you know what I'm watching here. I think you'd be taking that trade 40s to 50s if you got it. You're risking about 30 to 40 cents. It's a hard stop. You don't let it break back up through that high. That's a little bit reckless to me. I didn't actually see a huge short interest on this name coming in at 2%, but the free float, 4.27 million shares. Brendan, wow, that's pretty small.
It is teeny tiny, not unlike this one. Tesla, guys, not teeny tiny. Just saw this headline coming across. They're seeking to get permission from China's regulator to produce sport utility vehicles in China. So I haven't talked about Tesla yet, but 3.8% today. Just made a day high on that one, guys.
We had that question yesterday about it going to 500, and I said, hell yeah. I don't know if that's going to push it or not, but watch out. Your Tesla positions, always good ones there. We believe in Elon Musk, and if you do that, you've been a very, very rich individual if you've done that from here on out. So I have complete faith in Elon to get something done there with the government. He knows how to talk and get that done. So Elon Musk for the win once again, Neil, and Tesla. I mean, that stock is amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and I think it sort of goes without saying. You see the rest of the EV names be a little bit crazier. Tesla's already done this. I've been there, done that. I want to get to Haynes, and look, you're gonna on a day like today. You guys follow along on the watch list. Fantastic opportunity. We tried to cover everything we could. Doesn't mean we'll get every single trade. I only have 4 names traded today, and HBI. I really wanted to take Haynes to the short side. Obviously, you're going to see it continue to flush here. Sometimes you do just sell low and buy back even lower in a short sell. You don't guide lower in this environment and expect not to get beaten up. Haynes is, however, testing and having broken through what could have been the first support level down at about 1370. You would certainly think that here at 13, last time, go back into July earnings, it was a bit of a pop through there. So if 13 can hold, maybe you want to think about a bottom pick. If 13 breaks, I mean, goodness, that could get really ugly for Haynes brands. It is short sell restricted, so do be careful. HOFE, like I said, I would have taken a shot if we had the locates. There you go. It did test through the high, so even though it looks good, I would have been stopped out because I would have had my rule to be out at 585, and I would have lost 40 cents if I took it. You'd be in the money 80 cents if you just decided to hold blindly. It is what it is. Watch out for consolidation possibly at 440. I love it when these things have some halts and calm down. Usually you can get some better trades that you can leverage up a little bit more on when liquidity comes in. Brendan, what's up?
So KKR, investment firm and fund operator, reported earnings that were better than expected. As well, a number of companies that they are invested in reported earnings that were better than expected. There was also Mediaset, which trades over in Milan, in Italy. There were some rumors floating around that they were looking to maybe take out Mediaset. They've come out and denied that. But big move here today for KKR, 5.7%, just straight higher today, guys.
Good name there, yeah, KKR, one to watch out for moving forward. Yeah, and again, it just depends on what sort of investment situation you're trying to get. Oh, I just canceled my Palantir order, did not mean to do that. I put one in to go in for 1170 here, so let's get some of these out about 68, 69, that's what we're thinking about, and then re-engage in another long if it does come through at about 1171 or so on that break. We do like that. I was going to put some more work in on JP Morgan because I do like that stock, not just because it's my stock, but also because it's been a nice little move higher here. WFC for return-wise might be a little bit better because it's been beat up so much, but JP Morgan right now just chopping around the top. I'm thinking about shorting through 102.30. I'm going to go find out a little bit more about that.
Yeah, and we'll go with, I don't know, line them up, knock them dead here on KXIN. It does continue to grind lower. Look, it's going to seem like it's bouncing off this pre-market level, just a dark pool overnight dumping. And it's not that it doesn't matter. There was some consolidation down here in the 80s. That's the top end of that range here. Volume picked up. Obviously right at 7 o'clock when it usually does, and it was at 370, and this is the range I'm looking for. You can actually see I do have a bid sitting down here to collect the last exit. If it does turn off $4, you can't ignore a psychological level like that. I'll probably try to get out before it busts 410. I got to be happy with, if I can get 70 to 75 pennies on a $40 stock, $4.80 stock, I'm not going to look that gift horse in the mouth. I'll just take it. Brendan, what's up?
There was news on this one yesterday. Very, very small therapeutics company, Aptivo, $54 million market cap there for this one. APVO just popping up once again today. This thing just ripped $2 in a straight line. If you remember, this thing was just straight higher for the past two sessions on positive trial data for one of their treatments that they're working on. Going to double check on anything today, but back to 17 here for APVO.
I mean, the one thing I always look for on these day two moves is does it hold a lower than the previous high? And for now, it's looking like it's trying to. I mean, it busted through the pre-market high, which I think is a bit of a false trade for those that are looking to fade it. You always, if there's a level right above that was yesterday's top, allow it to fail there. So it looks like it just broke the back of a few shorters, and that's why it can maybe come back in from here. You got to make sure we have some locates on it, but it is that $19 area, I think, at the top yesterday, or 18 and change, like 1866, 19, whichever you want to use here. That's going to be the level to watch. It already made one test at the high, so I wouldn't be too frisky here at these levels, but I definitely like it a heck of a lot better if it takes another run, and then we can get like an 18 short off that 1865. Just to go back over to NEO, it's not to ignore the stock. But we gave you all the reasons why XPeng looked like it was the one to trade today. Man, that's choppy on the 1 minute. But all that said, it is still an upward trend in NEO. You're seeing it put in some lower highs here, some higher lows. Sorry. If 40 even remains the level to watch for me on NIO, I think if it breaks through there, you're going to break some backs. I'll probably, if it happens at like lunchtime or 11 o'clock, look to be shorting off of 40 if we're still testing that level. Just one of those scalp trades in front. But for now, 40 is a key price. It's grinding to the upside, not nearly as good as XPeng, however.
Yeah, XPEP, I'm debating getting out of this one. So our Qualcomm does come out there, and a good out it was, man. We got out perfectly at 147.20. So that was a great out there, celebrating that $2.50 win or so. So that was a good one to the downside. Now you're seeing Qualcomm crack, and you're also seeing the market crack a little bit here. I mean, not huge, but as Qualcomm goes, we told you it was going to be pegged to the market. So market makes a high, Qualcomm makes a high, we get off that. And again, feeling like Superman with that out. It's been such a great day, guys. We are back into Palantir through 70. It looks like it stopped, so I'm not going to give this one much to go. This is a very, very light position. If we break down below 60, we gone. What's up, Beep?
Hey guys, let's get a few more symbols to have a look at so far this morning. Upgrades on this side, downgrades over there. Biogen, big mover yesterday, fading that a little bit on some news. Microsoft, PayPal, and Lyft. There was a positive note on the space in general after the results of the Proposition 22 in California, but Lyft on the board here. Bigger move, 0.9%. 5 below, interesting look. Positive today, even with the downgrade. Wendy's and Zynga down there getting crushed after earnings. So we'll shift over here and have a look at Microsoft upgraded today. We're right at the top end of this last little test of 224, 225 up here. So let's see what happens for Microsoft, up 3.3% today for MSFT on an upgrade. Wendy's did gap higher even with the downgrade, but fading that. We're consolidating around 22. Might break downside. This was 21.75 at the close yesterday, guys. Back over to you.
A name from a couple of days in a row, been making a little bit of money shorting SolarEdge. You are seeing it come back up now, 10% to the upside. But let's watch out. When it did make this bottom at 190, originally the first day we talked about this 230 level. That's coming right back into play here. Obviously, the way things seem to be going, with no full mandate, it's going to be difficult to get some environmental pushes through. I think that could be weighing on some of the solar energy names here. And this one is going to be no different. So if we do stall, we're close enough. We're not quite at that 230, but if we're stalling shy of it, that was a level I liked for a rollover. I haven't taken a long in this stock yet. Obviously, today would have been a good day to do it, but 2 days in a row, it's been a good short for me. And then we're into that level 230 that I like. If it rolls over from here, I'm looking to jump into a short a couple of ways. We can either short through 225, don't love that as much, or we get one test, spike up through the current high, that's 28.27, fail to get through 230 and then catch it on the way back in. That's what I'm looking for solar energy. That's how we'll try to take it. KXIN's about to trail me out here. It's back above that $4 range, so it looks like it's trying to make a bit of a bottom on me. You see this sideways consolidation. I'll just get out if it breaks 405. There could be a future trade in this up at 450 to 470, or maybe down around that 365 area if it makes another lower low here, guys. But KXIN been a good one. Party could be over, at least for now, to the downside on KXIN.
All right, yeah, so Palantir just goes, like, this is the thing. This is why we don't take very many shares there. Goes up, goes down. We get out at 60 on a break, and it comes right back to 66. So just be very, very careful here. If you are looking to go short on Palantir, long on Palantir, it just had a fail there. I'll try it one more time if it breaks 70, but we just did take a 5-cent hit there. What's up, Beep?
A little one from yesterday, also in the EV space. Solo here again today, 2 days in a row, 14%. Just made a day high there on decent volume, but yeah, back to back. We're trying to clear some of these levels on the daily chart for that little one, Solo, guys.
And trying to clear to the upside again goes this APVO. I almost said APOV. Look, I talked about the wanting to wait to see if this one can test a little bit higher. That's exactly what it does. So it's still grinding back up towards yesterday's top, 1860s or so. Now that it's actually failed here at 18 even, if it fails to break through that even dollar, that's a nice little spot to take this one to the south side trade here, guys. But of course, as you say it, it doesn't quite give you that entry point. If it does come back in, you got to watch out for this 15. There was a lot of consolidation down there. It ramped up on volume. So that's your ultimate target. But I want the short in front of 18 even if I can get it. That would be the new stop on APVO, guys.
Okay, we're still watching, like, this GBTC just keeps going up, and I'm not making any money on it, so it's pretty bad. Okay, Palantir, we're back in again at 71, so we'll wait to see if this one wants to go now. We did take the mistake last time of taking that little bit of a hit, but here we go. Palantir now to the upside. We'll take a little bit off here if we can. 75 we just did, so that's a nice win. We'll watch to see now how high this one wants to go. I think it has a 12 peg in it, maybe. We'll get some out at 78 again, just so we can absorb some of that loss there. There it is, 78. Did we get it? Yes, we did. Bang. There it is, a nice little trade on Palantir. Unfortunately, we did lose, we did lose on that first position on Palantir. The first time we took this break, we did get out there at 60, so that was a 10-cent hit. Now we're back in the money, 10 cents. So if you still held that, congratulations. But Palantir right now, 84s? Okay, big stock, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Palantir running. I want to say it's going to continue running, but I'm not quite believing in solar energy, and it's getting close. It just made the test that we're looking for of the high, but didn't get very far. It just broke the high of the day and went literally like 15 more pennies. And the reason why that's not enough to trigger, that's the spread. So, I mean, the spread at times is like 50 cents. It was just the spread. So a break of the high really needs to hold a bid higher. It likely needs to get to 229. 230 is definitely a big level. You're starting to see volume taper off. I think there's going to be a good short retracement in this name as long as it holds 230. That's going to be the play for me. I want to go back over to a name from yesterday. If you guys are watching Cassava Sciences, I tried shorting it. It didn't work. I lost like 5 cents, and thank goodness I would have lost $1 if I'd gotten a little bit frisky or a little bit stubborn with it. Here comes the sell on Sava. It does look like, as usual, that's coming all the way back in. If you're looking at this name, watch out for about 10.20. Just go to the daily chart here. You're going to be able to see it's a bit of a level worth noting. If it bounces off here, maybe it's got a second wind to it. Seems like it's not going to be a go for me. Solar Edge, that's the next trade I anticipate having once we get a better test of 229 or 230, jumping into the short off that 230 level, guys.
Like I said, Palantir, I kind of caught myself there because I was like, oh, does it really have a 12 handle in it today? But yeah, it does. It's going to go up, and away. So we're long again at 71. Our initial long was $1 ago. So we're really happy, obviously, with the way that this trade has pieced itself out and continues to go upside right now for us. We went re-long again at 71. So now we're in the money, another 20 cents here on our good friend PLTR. This was one of the investment plays that we had. I'm very, very excited. Not just to, I mean, obviously I'm not excited to end the show, but I think I will be getting out of some of these trades here in my own account once the show is done. Long at $9.50. We go all the way to $12 today. Good little run there on Palantir, guys. Just watch out for that. Okay, we did get out of XPEV there. Same kind of break as before, 31.20. We talked about that. And then we're out of that Qualcomm trade that has come back a little bit. So let's have a look at that at some point as well. I know there's a lot of little names that's been brought to you guys today. We do have to look at some of those, but AMD right now making some beautiful consolidation. Let me look at AMD above $83 from here.
I'm trying to find the correct one for it. I'll flush myself down the toilet. If I could have found the fail stamp, I would have thrown that up there for you guys. Yeah, there we go. ACB making the high, at least since the open. At least it's not the high of day. But I did get out of this one while we were hesitant to dig into it. It is now coming back southbound. I do feel like if we get consolidate down here around like this 525 and view up, I'll take another crack at this one short. As I said, when things start to calm down, it was a big move up that we shorted into, and I just didn't feel comfortable digging into this one as opposed to some other trades which I like a little bit better. Speaking of which, we're getting very close to Solar Energy. I'll be getting into that one the second it makes a turn off at 230 with a hard stop at 230. But for now, let's get to the small cap recap with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, let's get into small cap world. Bit of a quiet morning so far in small cap land. There was this one we were talking about, Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment. Never heard of this company, but they did a deal with Sports Illustrated for some media content. So they have a media division. They're going to do a bit of a biography docu-series, they're calling it, on the NFL. So HOFV up on that news. Look at the volume on the daily chart. Huge move up to 6. There's a bit of an area between 580 and 615. We sadly do not have locates on this today, so shorting not happening. Gave you a great long opportunity above that consolidation if you're so inclined, all the way up to, guess what, this exact area on the daily chart, 615 down to about 580, ended up being resistance here. Volume kind of dying down a bit. It's thinly traded. Even if you don't have locates, if you're short-sided biased, worth having a look at this. You know, write the levels down. Make sure you come in tomorrow prepared if it's back around that same level. Let's go over to ACB. This was my focus today. Gave you a 540 entry there in the pre-market. Took the breakdown. Nice little consolidation here right before the open down to 490, 480 was a great opportunity. I missed that, but good reload there. 550 was tested again on that push back to the upside. So good chance to get back in on the short side. Afria as well, same story. 555 pivot in the pre-market. Ended up being resistance after market here. You could have added on that spike. I was doing other things. 5.25 ended up being the bottom for Afria. So even when it is a little bit slow, you got to look a little bit harder. But there's always stuff to look at, guys. Back to you.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, and you never know what's going to come next, right? Like, for example, Palantir. I mean, we didn't think that this was going to go this high, and it does, man. Now we're up to 12. Like, unbelievable, guys. Follow us on Twitter. We made this call over there, and I put it up today, the kind of damage that we've been doing on Palantir today. Back like up through 12 now. We may need to sell some of this, like I keep saying, but it's just going upside, upside, upside. Let's check out GM, another name that was on our watch list. And again, you know, we talk about the watch list and how important that is. And the reason why is you really got to trade stock that have some sort of catalyst, right? Not only are they going to have a catalyst, but the catalyst is also going to provide you with volume as well, right? So you need volume to get in and out of your trades, and I think that allows for some levels to hold and allows to give you, you know, a little bit more direction on some of these trades and whatnot. So GM today, a good one. We can also look at Ford today. Much more shares done in Ford than in GM. You can actually see Ford's going the other way, man. It's going up, GM going down. I've already given you this call, Ford back down around 650. More work to be done there. ACB still up that 20%. Tilray is a name we didn't really look at yet today, other than in the pre-market when we were highlighting some of these marijuana companies. But come on, Tilray. Moving around, like, I don't know, my chart's not going on this one, but Tilray moving around a lot here today. Upside, same way that Neil had that ACB. It looks like they made a move high, stopped people out, and now some of these marijuana stocks coming back down to the south side here.
Yeah, and just as you see Tilray there on Sean's chart, a little bit stronger, still above VWAP here. Different story with ACB. It's right at it. This is the sideways action I was looking for in the overall retracement, hopefully in the play. I want to see if I can get a bit of a short at the top end of this range. If we can catch something 25 to 30, sort of ease in, and then we can maybe take out the bottom. I am into solar energy now. I got 228 here. I'll give it a couple of bucks. 230 has been my hard stop the entire time here. That's the level I was watching when it first dipped down. It's the first time we're shorting in front of it. I've been shorting on the way down in this name into weakness. This time we're shorting a bit of a pop. But ACB, I'll take advantage of the sideways action. As you see, it's relatively weak, I would say, despite the ramp up that it just had at the open. But I want to try to be patient. The volume is tremendous on this one on ACB. It's kind of crazy how strong how good the volume is at 31 million shares, guys. So got to watch and tread a little bit carefully in some of these names. ACB, lots of liquidity. ALTM, I want to go back to this name. It was very sleepy when Brendan talked about it before, but it did just make an upside halt through the high of day, but immediately starting to come back. And this is usually a good sign. You're seeing it start to consolidate a little bit here. If we hold below, and look, this halt level is going to be 20.40, but I'll call it like $20. That's where I'd be looking to get into a bit of a short position on this name. As long as we got the locates, we'll be locked and loaded to go. I love when they halt and then start to get better price discovery. It's a better time to be trading this if you think you're going to be shorting one of these names. And ALTM, that was my idea to short it. I didn't have any long ideas for this name. I was just waiting patiently for my shot.
Okay, and we have another idea here on NEO. I see a lot of you guys talking about it in the chat. Obviously, this is a super popular trade and a super popular position to be in, long NEO. So, you know, it's been very, very choppy today. That's why I'm not highlighting it so much as maybe you guys wanted to, because it's just I haven't been able to find anything here. You saw XPEV. XPEV is by far my number one stock. Well, Palantir's there too, but XPEV, another number one stock of mine. But look at this, guys. This 39, this could be something right here. You have VWAP at 39.05, and you have some consolidation upside at about 39. So my order is to go long now, 39. If we can get that on NEO, man, I would love that. So we're going to go long through 39. You can bottom pick. I just fear that with the NASDAQ making this kind of a move right now, that NEO needs a little bit of energy to get going to the upside right now. And we'll see if that does happen. But $39 coming in. You could also take a break downside of 38.24. It's just, I don't know if a short in NEO is what we really need to be putting on right now. Brendan, you have something for us, bud?
DraftKings, guys, just saw this positive note. Another day, another gap to the upside. Another positive note, in fact, on DraftKings this morning. So we got another gap here you can see from yesterday. However, this thing has tried this 42 a couple of times and looks to be failing. So back to the downside here. Market coming off a little bit, yes, but still 4.8% for DraftKings today.
That's my number, 42. I mean, I don't know. How could I not take this break when it happens? It's actually 42. It looks like 42.25, but double top action on DraftKings. Yeah, going to have that break when it happens. If it happens, I shouldn't say when. If it happens at some point, even if it's in the afternoon, that does look like a good level. You're just thinking about how far this might retrace. Obviously, if it gets back to like a 44 to 46 area, somewhere in that range, you might consider that it would slow down. Until then, I'd like to be playing it back to the upside. It looks like the break would be the first trade for me. Outside of, you get some action here, which is sideways, and ACB I did get in. You'll see that in position board 525. Again, my only losing stock in the day. Hopefully it will fare better. But if we can hold sort of below VWAP, could put in some higher lows, maybe DraftKings, we can fade into this one in front of that 42.25, and that would be a breakout trade. But long into the breakout, as long as we can hold some higher lows here. Looks like we're doing pretty good here at 41.20. If that continues, maybe we can have either a VWAP break or a consolidation bottom pick. Brendan, what's up?
Keep getting alerts on some little teeny tiny gold stocks all morning. There's been multiple names really not doing significant volume, but big moves this morning in some of the gold miners. You can have a look at GDX, like 6% on GDX today. We're back to 41 here. This is a big area on the daily chart for GDX, the gold miner ETF, guys.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. It's literally, the exact same price that I got in last time. It's different circumstances here in ACB. Things have calmed down just a little bit. Solar Energy is going to break down about $1 in the money. I'll take some out for a $2 win. Look, I'm risking a couple of bucks to my 238 level, so I'll always take some profit when it goes that much in the money for me and try and hold for a bigger one. I'm going to start working into a little bit more in ACB here because a couple of reasons. Like, one, if it just breaks like 530, I can always cover a bunch of it for like a 5-cent stop and then allow it to test higher. Also, if it breaks down at 515, I think the floodgates open up to like a 5 even area. So I like the risk reward now that we have a bit of a range to play in ACB. It might have been a mistake to jump into it on the way up. Better to catch things when they're consolidating on a little downward move here if you want to be short selling in ACB, in Aurora, or any of the cannabis names.
Yeah, we love those cannabis names, and yeah, I'm still long a lot of those names in my own portfolio, so not a great one. Wow, look at PayPal, guys. Another one of those calls that we've had for a long-term investment, and I hope you guys pick some up in the 170s there after that report. Yeah, like 170 PayPal. Like, give me a break. Now we're back up to 201. Look, a lot of these stocks just chop, not doing a whole hell of a lot. The only trade that I liked there was that NEO, so let's just check back in it. I'm not in NEO. Let's check back in XPEV actually quickly here. 3088, that was a good out. You know, we hammered this long downside. Now we're just trying to see really no consolidation in this. Go back over to NEO. Okay, here we go. NEO now approaching 39. This is kind of the levels that we liked. VWAP is actually at 39.03. We're going to get in a little bit earlier than that if it does break through 39. Okay. It's embarrassing because we called this back to 39, but I didn't want to go long down here because I was fearful of the market, and I thought that NEO needed this, but obviously it does not. So we'll wait to see 39, and then next stop probably 40. If we get to 39 longs, you know, probably, you know how I do. We'll be scalping out pretty quick. We'll get some out at 39.20, it looks like, right around here. There could be some resistance there, but we don't have that crystal ball that tells us where NEO's going to go because it just keeps on going sometimes, and you can't stop that train. So we're going to go long at 39. Take some out at 20 if that happens. And then I don't really see any consolidation. I mean, maybe at 50. So we can just play the even quarters and see if that works for us on NEO. But other than that, man, I mean, everything looks to be a pretty positive here for those of you trading NEO. Still up that 3%. So beautiful stock today.
And not necessarily a beautiful stock today if you're holding a long is going to be Haynes. And we talked about this in the watch list. Guiding lower is the kill shot for them. They just broke that 13 area to the downside. I just sort of showed you guys this in the pre-market. On the daily chart here. I would take that break. We just got it at 18. If it works its way down, there was a bit of a gap when it made this move, 1260. So I think that's a decent target for this short. But Brendan's got a little something for us. What's up there, buddy?
Just noticed General Motors, another one we were talking about in the pre-market, guys, on the watch list today. Earnings pre-market better than expected, but look at this. We're all the way back to where we were yesterday. There was a section in that report talking about Chinese sales, kind of tie this back into all the other Chinese names that are moving around that were better than expected. So even GM seeing higher sales in China in their latest quarter. Still a positive day right across the board for most names, even over in Europe. Valeria is watching the action over in Europe this morning. What's up, V?
Hey Brandon, European shares hit a 2-week high on strong earnings reports. Societe Generale is a positive mover as it beat net income estimates for the quarter. Back to you.
Yeah, that one in the financial group over there. I just noticed financial stocks here as well. 2.8% today, guys.
Okay, here we go, guys. NEO, good little
My
trade here. We're
hero.
long 39.03. Look what we said. Rate to 39.20. This is what we're doing, guys, today. I mean, I don't know. Sorry about this graphic. 29s. Boom! NEO just continues to keep on ripping. I don't know what else we're supposed to do other than give you guys these trades. So we'll just continue to cook for you here. 39.20 out. We only have a third left now. I said we'd hold that last little bit. So let's see if we do get that 39.50, man. Out at 10. Out at 22. Now let's just keep on ripping this to the high side. NEO, man, I mean, just another winner right now. So we unplug ourselves here and just watch NEO go to the upside as the electric space just keeps on rocking and rolling. What a great trader, NEO.
Yeah, we love the EV names. We talked about why you got to stick to them, and NEO, usually the big one. Today, maybe not so much, but still a nice winner over there, Sean. Finally got back into ACB, and you'll see sitting a little prettier than before. Obviously, it's an embarrassing thing to make high wick, but it's going to happen to everybody. I do get the consolidation. I like it better when things calm down because A, you know you're with the direction here when it's settled back in. B, you can maybe have a few more shares here because you have a couple of stops you can use. One that's going to be tighter. Now that we're sliding down towards low, I am going to take profits out in towards that low of the day. I do anticipate maybe tries to put in a higher low at 5 even. So certainly I will take that, 10, 15, 20, 25 cent wins on the way down to the low. If it breaks the low, I'd like to hang on to about 20% of the position. If all that happens, we'll be up on ACB. And of course, I might trade my only negative stock was ACB. It'll turn positive if all that happens. But it looks like I will lose possibly for the first time on solar energy this week. If it takes out 230, I'm not digging into this position anymore. I had my entry when it slid. I wanted it to break and test up without getting to 230. When it came back down, that was going to be how I would get into the position. We've done that, but 230 is my stop. If it breaks that, just remember how far this thing has come to the downside. It could squeeze up here, and I don't want to be caught in that trap. Brendan, what's up?
Clovis Oncology. I just noticed this popping back up on a volume scanner here. Yeah, I tried this one downside earlier, but there was a wall here at 475. Every time it got close to 475, got pushed back down. They announced a debt raise today, big-time debt raise. So 18% for CLVS, starting now to head southbound, guys.
Clovis, eh? Okay. Yeah, we got to watch out for that one. Okay, Palantir, I see some people asking for some price targets on Palantir, and yeah, I don't have any. I mean, we're already long. We've been long all day, long again in here, and still hold some. So, I mean, price target 12. I mean, we're right there right now. It's never been up here before. Palantir's making all-time highs right now. So, yeah, to say that I really have a target on this one would be a lie. I don't. I mean, I'm just trying to hold them as much as I can here to the upside. So we still have this trade on. And then if you want NEO, we're already long at 39. The first trade we've taken all day was this VWAP break. It does go all the way to 34. So I called 50. So, I mean, if you go up to 34, that's not so bad there. Now it's coming back in. We're going to dump this at 39 just to make sure we have a winner. But here comes NEO screaming back down. But big trade everywhere on this one. There goes Palantir. It's going to break 12, guys.
The one thing I'll say about Qualcomm, someone asked about an update on Qualcomm, but you do have to watch. It bounced off VWAP one time before trading through, and the second time it's testing it now. You do it does feel like it's still a retracement trade. This never got to that 150 mark that we certainly would have loved to have happen. It hasn't yet, and now it's grinding back. If it takes out 144.60, which was the level I was watching on the way up, oddly enough. If it takes that out, we might have to retest that 142. I liked it the first time. I'll probably like 137 if it breaks. So just watch out for Qualcomm. This is a key important thing. If it puts in the higher low and holds right here, I think we're going to get a run at that 150, where I do still like the breakout. And I'll like it in the afternoon, even if that's when it happens. We're back in the money in Solar Edge, which must mean that something else wants to go against me, and that's going to be Haynes. Every now and then, you're literally going to short the bottom. Thankfully, this was just a dark pool print. It didn't actually go $1 against me. When you take a breakout trade, it's a little different from like shorting a pop or buying a dip. I'm not going to give it too far if I'm taking a breakdown. I'm shorting the low of the day break. I'm gonna know that I'm wrong about it. In my opinion, if it goes past that quarter, I'm just gonna take it off. This is not shorting it when I catch it earlier in the move, where you might want to give it 50 cents to 75 cents, thinking you'll make $1 or $2. In this case here, if it doesn't work right away, much like in Sava yesterday, saved myself some money by just giving up the ghost on the tight stop. Same thing here on Haynes. I wanted it off the open. I didn't get it. I'm not going to compound that by giving it too much room if it's made a 13 bottom.
I'm still watching this Bitcoin. It's bouncing around 15,000. It's not doing anything. I've lost money. Okay, there goes Neo. So we're out of Neo. So a good win on that one. Not as good as it could have been. Still a nice little cash cow Neo's been for us all year, and will continue to be that way as long as it keeps on moving for us. That's Neo right now making big moves. Like, I'm so impressed with all of these tech stocks. Facebook now almost back to all-time highs. We talked again about this thing at 250. Do you remember that day I just kept losing and losing? I was longing like 260 to 258. I was all the way down before finally catching a bottom and making that money. But yeah, impressive to see Facebook back here. I think this is going to be a good break of 294. So I guess 294.75. We'll look at a bit longer time frame here. Let's see what it looks like on a 3-minute chart. That's 294.95. I mean, yeah, it just confirms that these have just been the tops. 294.75. So we still have a little bit of room to go there. That's 50 or so more cents. But watch the futures. Like, as these start coming back upside, obviously you're going to see some runs here in some of these stocks. Microsoft, I think, might be the highest one today. Let's check. Microsoft was, 3%. So Microsoft could be even a better one, but just choppy. Microsoft's already hit its highs, so I think Facebook has some catch up on that one. And by the way, there goes Palantir through 12. So our initial long, 1090 down here. We put on the biggest position of the day at 1105. You're up to 1205 right now. So that's a smooth dollar on this $12 name. I mean, 10, 20, 30%. Let's see how high this one can go. Still making new highs. Palantir, guys, the biggest and baddest stock around. Let's go.
I thought Apple was the biggest stock around. I'm kidding, of course. Today, being a big-time gainer. Speaking of big-time gainers on the session, ONCT, I saw a couple people asking about this. There were a couple of stocks that have halted on us multiple times. This is going to be one of them. This looks like, by my count, like the second halt to the upside at 360. Positive earnings is the culprit here for a parabolic move. But we're getting into some key bag holding prices, guys. This 365 to 380 range is going to stand out like a bit of a sore thumb. Just got the fill, so yes, let's fall off the earth 3 days in a row. Thank you very much. I'll get back to ONCT. It does open higher. You know my conditions. It got to open lower off of a halt. That's a little bit too much strength. I'm not going to chase that one and try to step in front of the train. If it breaks the next level up, we'll have to watch for about $5. Brendan, what's up there, buddy?
Just going to check on this, but Nikola just popped up here again, guys. Big volume spike here on Nikola. Back to day highs. Now 9.7%. Remember, GM CEO saying that they are still talking. No deal yet, but they are still talking, and they remain positive on the possibility of a deal. Guys.
$20, for Nikola? Yeah, I don't know, man. I've already talked about Nikola a couple times here from a long-term standpoint, and I don't love it anymore. But GM, yeah, I mean, nice to get the headwinds there, or the tailwinds, I guess, behind them with GM. So if that deal can get done, then yeah, full speed ahead. And congratulations to anybody that bought that a little bit lower. That was definitely a good trade. I did want to check back in on Tilray quickly here. We didn't make a trade on that one yet, but if I was going to say if we're going to short anything, it probably would be Tilray. This is a 3-minute chart here. We're having a little look here just to see what it wants to do to the downside. 670 was the bottom. I went over and got some Hydration Nation, so I hope everybody is also staying hydrated today as we continue to make the profits. You got to stay right. Ever since I started drinking the water, I don't know, we had a hell of a lot of success. So shout out to Jarhead. I don't see him anymore. Maybe he's stationed up, but I know Mr. Wheelie Man, you're always reminding me about drinking that water. So I hope all of you guys are as well. Big point there. Arun and I crush these things, and so does Lucas has a big one as well. All right, Sector Watch with Brendan. Let's go.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500. Nicely positive right across the board once again. We're still in earnings, so obviously you're going to have some individual names here to the downside. That's Biogen there. It's tough to see, but Biogen 8% lower. Remember, we were up 35% or something crazy yesterday, so pulling back in there for Biogen. X-Ray as well, another earnings name, 4% to the downside. But otherwise, widespread strength right across the entire market. I want to show you this one, PayC, 6.25%, kind of lagging the rest of the tech group that is obviously leading the market higher today, led by QCOM, QRVO, 10.8% for QRVO. Skyworks there, I mentioned that one very, very early on, 4.6%. Micron right behind it. So the entire semi group doing quite nicely today, to say the least. Hardware makers as well, very, very positive. Industrial stocks all basically in positive territory here, including, the airlines having quite a day. We haven't talked about the airlines today, but 4% for UAL. Delta there, 3.8%. AAL, Love, they're all here. Alaska even up 3.3%. So have a look at some of the transportation stocks. Consumer discretionary names, we mentioned Expedia. Top of the list here, 4.2% for Expedia. BBY, eBay, 3% today for eBay. There's Hanesbrand, 20% to the downside today after that earnings. Earnings were actually decent, but it was the forecast going forward. They raised some COVID concerns still. 2.2%, guys, for the overall S&P. Back over to you.
Yeah, short Haynes is my one negative stock. I thought it might be solar energy, but it's 3 days in a row for some successful shorts. Just different style, I think, here. And Sean, Cincy Video Guru, thank you for the super chat. They would buy a Hydration Nation jug. So, and that's a big jug right there. So maybe we can look into that. I like that idea. I want to go back to the exit here. I did just catch, it looks like the bottom here, but you can watch on solar energy. It was making some pullbacks right into this 226 each time. That's why I said if it got a couple of bucks in the money, I would look to take some off. I wanted to break 225, get us right back to, and this is in front of 222, but that was a pre-market breakout price. So I would like to have it dip down into that range before I take the rest out. So it's now binary. It either gives me the exit here of 222, or I get out at 230 on a top end break. I'm not reversing to the long trade in this name. I'm going to short it till it stops working, and this is now 3 days in a row that it looks like it's been. I hate the word easy. But certainly able to find quality places to fade that name. Certainly could be some trouble. ACB, no, I did not get every single exit out. It's back towards the top end of the range. I've taken some profit in front of 510. If it breaks 535, I'll look for a re-entry price a little closer to 550, like I should have done last time. But making that money back on ACB now that it's calmed itself down just a little bit.
Man, I'm watching different things here. We just got out of some Palantir there, so now we have a very, very small amount. Just thinking that was going to go. I don't know if that was a little bit of a mistake there. $12 is just so high on this name, man. I had no idea that we were going to go up here, so we get out there. Should have took some out off of this 12. We're long at 70, so I mean it's like a ho-hum situation, but we should have definitely, I think, had some out a little more aggressively there. So my mistake on that one, but we did just take some out. Our last little bit out there at, let me see where that fill was, 96. So that was a good little out from a 70 long. So Palantir, man, just keeps on going still. We do like that one. We're going to get out of that in a minute. If it does go back above 12, we have like 5% of our positions. So we can just let that one go now. No problem. We don't need to talk about it. Alibaba's coiling up here. That's exactly what we like. So if you haven't made a trade yet in Alibaba today, you may want to look right now. Oh, hold on. I just got to get out of this other position. We'll see right now if it does coil through 282. I do like a 282 break. Let's take that, guys. 282 break on Alibaba. Let's put that order in. We don't know when it's going to fill, but I do like this one through 282. That high is actually 282, 11 or 12. So I don't think there's anything wrong with actually waiting for that print either. So you might want to wait for that wick. 282. Let's call it 282 and a quarter. How about that? That's a good trade there on Alibaba. But watch out, this market, as you can see, breaking this bottom could be a problem. So these stocks are very, very high. Let's go over to Facebook and have a look as well.
Yeah, and one from yesterday. I mean, Biogen went. Let's let you guys look at it here. Biogen went absolutely parabolic in yesterday's action. It ended up being my top stock, shorting it. I didn't even get the high of the day. I shorted on the first initial move to the upside, but catches like 4 upgrades post news, and as usual, because this always makes sense, guys, falls off a cliff here. All things in perspective, it was at $240 yesterday, so it's still up 25% from that move. The short that I was looking at originally was yesterday at 335 when it turned shy of 330. We were able to take a $10 winner, and it's right back into that range. So in the theory that resistance turns into support, If Biogen does make a bit of a bounce here at that 325, and you'd be looking to maybe go long on a breakup of that 335 price level to see if it can go. Let's go to the daily chart. You can see where we got 335 on. This was that level way back in April, May. If it breaks up, 4 upgrades, positive news from yesterday, has to hold the bottom first. Biogen, watch out. The spread can be $1, $2 at times. There's always a price you don't want to pay in a breakout trade. I wouldn't cross $3 or $4 because you might just get exactly that price, and your risk is thrown completely off.
Do we want to buy NEO at these depressed prices? We could possibly do that down here at 38 and change. That's NEO coming. Yeah, what's up, guys? Good shot there. Oh, we still have the bottle of the VOV here, so I'll just turn this around. There it is. There it is. For 100,000 subscribers, and thank you so much to all of you that are now subscribers to the show. We have probably about 100, 200, 3,000. Thank you so much for that. You can hit the like, subscribe. More importantly, just share the program. I mean, it's completely free on YouTube. The traction has been absolutely fantastic. A lot of you liked Kevin O'Leary on the show. Was it last week now? I don't even remember when it was, 2 weeks ago, something like that. That was a fantastic look there, talking about MindMed, giving some of his opinions on the market and whatnot, calling oil dead money, so on and so forth. That's obvious. So he was there. Great, great guest. We'll look to have him on again. If you like Kevin O'Leary, he'll probably come back on for us. And then as soon as all this sort of COVID stuff, I mean, I don't have to keep telling you guys, we do have, you know, people lined up, CEOs and whatnot, to come back on the show. We'd rather have them in person. NASDAQ, CEOs, Canada, so on and so forth. So really, really big shout out to Josh Schmidt, the NEO chairman, CEO as well on that exchange. So lots of stuff happening here, guys. The show is just going to continue to grow. I think Alibaba down 5%. I'd like it to get to that 260 area so that we can buy it in our own portfolio. Look, we've broke below this 50 period. Now that's a big indication. So if we can get into here, man, I'm loading the truck up on Alibaba, Brendan.
Yeah, interesting to see that. Earnings were really good for Alibaba from what I saw. Big Five Sports here, another one, 11.2%, coming up to $9. Big, huge level on the daily chart for Big Five Sports. Don't see anything in the way of news on this, but 11% for BGFV, guys.
You just can't let me win. I'll be, I don't know. That's not what I hit. There we go. We flossed off, and then we got the weed Batman. Not me today. What are we, like the weed Joker, or just, I don't know, weed anti-Batman, whatever it's going to be. I wish it had done this and actually tricked down to $5. That's just a dark pool print. At least this time, we did a couple of things right. We got more shares, but took profit on the way down. We waited for a consolidation, but I did mention if it broke the top end of this consolidation range, I would just cover it. That's what I've done here to limit the hit. And then hopefully if there's a test at 550, we can catch that rollover. I still feel overall, this is going to be the name at ACB in particular that I'm going to be shorting. If I get that opportunity again at 550, we'll jump back in. Only thing we're looking at right now is, well, not looking at, but involved in, is going to be that solar energy. It's making another run at the high of the day. Now, I haven't added back into this position. If it rolls over off of a lower high, meaning it cannot break about 229.50, so doesn't even test that 230 area, that would be a reason to get back in at about 228 to the shares that I covered, and I'd rinse and repeat trading the range while still maintaining my target. But if it makes a run right to the top from right here, right now, I'm not adding to it, not stepping in front of that train. It can't be a negative stock unless I make a misstep with my re-entry, so got to be very, very patient with that one. Solar energy, good for a few days in a row. Hopefully it continues. I was fearing that maybe Qualcomm would break down below this level here, a 144.60. I apologize for the wicks on the chart. It is holding right now, but if it breaks lower, let's watch for a retest of 142. That was the bottom pick that we had a little bit earlier on, right off of the open. So for now, Qualcomm looks okay, and if you're still holding that long, just watch out. You can see it grinding back in. Profit taking is going to come into play here. The market's trying to hold 12,000 on the NASDAQ. Sort of telling my age there, 1,200. What am I talking about? So if Qualcomm does break that, I think we do test that 142 one more time. We liked it before. We'll like it again.
Yeah, Qualcomm, big stock for me today. Qualcomm, Palantir, XPEV, all the big ones for me, and NEO as well. And we're talking about picking some of that up on the bottom side. But, okay, so we're watching that one. What was one of the last ones we gave you guys? Oh, yeah, Facebook. We were talking about it, and we did like Alibaba, but you can see the market's now moving upside. 282 still to come on AB. Right now, Money Talks, one of my favorite segments, because we're trying to watch out Bitcoin today. We're going to talk about that in a second. We're talking about the Canadian currencies, whatnot. Let's go. Foreign exchange, crypto with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. We were just Robbie and I were just talking about Bitcoin. Look at this chart. This is a crazy chart. This is October back here. Yeah, 15,000 now for Bitcoin. It was 10,100. Insane. Yeah, it's crazy. 7% here today for Bitcoin. You can see 15,042 at the moment. Huge move, just straight higher. Ethereum being dragged along as well, 3% to the upside today for Ethereum, back to 413. Everywhere else, nice moves as well. The euro, 0.8% to the upside. Canadian dollar, exactly the same, 76.7 now for the CAD. Biggest three-day drop in the USD right across the board since March because of the election. So all of these versus the US dollar, a lot higher. Australia, New Zealand. Australia, 1.25% to the upside. You can see volatility play there. Japanese yen, Swiss franc coming off a little bit. Turkish lira as well to the downside, but it's hard to avoid this one. 7% move today in Bitcoin. Again, this is 10,100, 15,000 up here for Bitcoin in not that long of a time. That's an hourly chart, guys. Back over to you.
Wowzers.
It's nuts. I mean, and that's the whole thing. If you want to trade Bitcoin, you could trade GBTC. You can see a lot of executions on this stock today. But if you look at a 1-minute chart, it's just, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to go long here. I'm not actually up that much on it. We did get a little bit of a break there, but that's GBTC. It's I don't know. I wish it was trading a little bit better, but yeah, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you could buy GBTC or you just buy it itself, CoinSquare and whatnot. I know PayPal, or no, for you guys in the States, Coinbase here in Canada, CoinSquare, and there's a couple different exchanges. Well, now there's lots of different exchanges that you could buy Bitcoin. And look, I think Bitcoin is a great store of value. I know there's going to be probably some haters on here, but I've been a holder of Bitcoin for quite a while and a believer in it. So hopefully you guys believe in it too. And with the economy the way it is now, look, I mean, there's no better game than stocks, but hey, that return on Bitcoin there, parabolic, needless to say. So congratulations to anybody out there. You know, I know a lot of people that have made a lot of money on Bitcoin, and we're all going to join that club on that play as well.
Absolutely. And, well, I mean, all of crypto, we're going to feature Bitcoin, obviously, in that segment because can't show everything there. ONCT, I should say, we talked about this one when it halted to the upside. And now we did open higher. That's why I said I didn't want to touch it right then and there. Back below that 360 halt. On the daily, you're going to watch it fail in and around a couple of levels, 382. We talked about the upside, and past that, didn't get to 450. So you can see still some bag holders that are holding that bag. And all you want to see after that is some consolidation lower, guys. That's exactly what's happening. I think you give it, initially, if you're taking a short around here, you got to give to about that 360 halt. I never give it back to the high of day. I'd like to be entering something in and around 340 through 350, just so the risk reward can fit. And then you're looking for a breakdown to about 287. Solar energy, there is the breakout. So it was so good. It was falling off the earth for me 3 days in a row, but it finally broke that 230. So we'll fall off the earth and take our first hit on solar energy. But the systems are all go. It's a cheap short for me on ONCT. We don't have only paying about 2 cents a share. Check that. 1 cent a share at Day Trade the World. Be able to catch this one. I wanted it 340 to 350. Get this one down to about 280.
Okay, and yeah, Bitcoin's still trying to make moves here. So we're watching that one. I don't know, 15-1 now, making moves to the high side there. Alibaba also trying to make moves. We could talk about that one. Again, we are looking at that, looking to break through 282. We've already given you that trade as well. I'm flat now. Yeah, okay, so it's still not through there. I'm flat on this name so far today. No trade yet, but 282.25. We do like Alibaba. Palantir's come back in, 1175. We just got out of the last 5% there on this consolidation, and guess what, guys? Looks like it wants to break out again, 1180 on Palantir. I'm already, destroyed that name, but we can get another long here as the market just keeps on making moves to the high side here. So Palantir looking really spicy again through 1180. I think we should take it again. How about that?
And Qualcomm has just held that 144.60 low. Higher low, I should say, and breaking back above VWAP. So I do like this one to test this level one more time. That'll be my out. If 144.60 does go, I'd be out of this long, but I want to catch it right around here at 145, right around VWAP, and give it that $1. So Brennan, what's up there, buddy?
Even some of the retailers starting to participate in this rally. American Eagle here, we haven't talked about this one in months, 3.8% today. Just popping up, you can see on a volume chart through 1490. $15, the bigger level there, that last little spike high on the daily chart for American Eagle. Still a couple of weeks out until earnings on AEO, guys.
All right, American Eagle making moves to the high side as well. We still continue to take Bitcoin long. I mean, it's still going high. GBTC up that 10%. I don't know what you said. Brendan, if you can tell me, I mean, Bitcoin, I think is up 10% today, or was it 7 or 8%? It was from 14. The thing about Bitcoin, when you're looking at how much it's up, so that's why when you look at something like GBTC, that's up from yesterday's close, right? Bitcoin's a 24-hour machine, so it just keeps going. Oh, what? I missed the Alibaba break? Oh, guys, unbelievable. I hope you guys have that. We gave you that Alibaba break. I must have not crossed up enough. 282.40 there. We'll cancel that, but there's the break at 282.25. Goes all the way to 65, 70 cents. Hopefully you guys still have this. A nice little 30-cent win. Let me know if you have it. But Superman with that call today. Good little long on Alibaba, guys. Hope you have that.
Yeah, and just continuing to break up here is Qualcomm. Got 146 on the turn here. It took out the even, so we just entered at that price. Like I mentioned before, like a couple of seconds ago, 144.60. You can call it 50 if you want to round down. That's that bottom break. If it takes that out, I'll get out of this new long position. Think about that 142 test where we like the much better here, guys. So I'll take some out for a $1 win on the way back up. Hopefully, I mean, it's 150 that we're looking at. That's that pre-market high, guys. If it gets there, I'd be all out of it. Once again, no way I'm holding through there. I think 150 can be its own break. I do want to get back to KXIN. Not perfect for me. It is a good stock. It's been a good one all morning long, but I did get trailed out of it. You got to put a trail sometimes. Indications to me that was bottoming out here at the high end of this pre-market range at 390. That's why I got it. It looks like it is going all the way down to that target. Now, volume kicked in at 365. That's exactly where it feels like it's making another low here. I'm not going long in this name. If it does hold this level, I would consider an afternoon break so long as 365 is never broken. I'd look for some kind of a lunchtime or afternoon break back up at $4. But it can't have broken 365. That's the last line in the sand there. Qualcomm's a new position. It's basically only money 10 or 15 cents. If it goes close to $1, I'll take some profit.
Okay, back into Palantir there at 81. We just took some out at 84. Now 85. Next up 87. So here we go again, guys. Just scalping it like crazy here on Palantir, going through 11, 85, 86. Come on, 87. You know I'm sitting there. Let's see if we can't get some love at 87. Break yourself, NASDAQ. And bang, there it is. We take that again. The money just keeps on flowing through today, guys. Palantir just continues to rock it. We're out of 40% there. That's a 6-cent win. And yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just topping off what's already been an incredible day on this stock. So it takes them out at 83 there. And now watch out for it to come back to the downside. And we'll get out if it breaks through 70. So let's see if this has 12 into it. We just captured some profit on this break. Now we'll wait for some 12s. It'll be a losing trade if it breaks through 70, but not by much. We're out of 60% here for 4 or 5 cents. We'll hold that last 40 and see. It's not the ratio is not the important thing here. We've already crushed it. We're hoping that we can get it up to 12. So I'm going to take a little bit of a skewed win-to-loss ratio here in hopes that we get back up to 12, but I'm not going to give it much past 11.68 or so, guys.
And just noticing a new name to the board here, actually up almost 10%. I mean, U.S. Steel making a strong push. You know, one of the things that for me seems like it's going to be true is, you know, I don't care how this all plays out, whether it's a week or a month or when we find things out with the election. Probably going to be some infrastructure deals going on, and I feel like U.S. Steel is going to benefit from it. You know, Buy American is going to be true, I think, one way or another. So you are seeing some buying on the dips. Just watch. I mean, you had this 9 to 920 even area. It's been basically bouncing off that level over and over again after attempting to break out through this price. So just keep an eye on that in U.S. Steel. Looks like it's been a good long every time it's touched. Last time we mentioned it, made the exact same move. Gave you like $1, $1.50. So a nice little 10% move on U.S. Steel every time it dips down there. Already 11 o'clock. Wow. Let's get over to our European update. Valeria is at the big screen.
Hey guys, European markets are positive today. Britain is up 0.65%. France is up 1.31%. Italy is up 2.02%, and Germany is up 1.9%. Commerzbank is down more than 5% as it reported quarterly losses. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
That was quick. Okay, thank you, Valeria, for that little update there on Europe. Yeah, so we're going to come back to it now. Europe, we're all now caught up on times. We had to go back this weekend as well. So for Halloween, obviously daylight savings time now over there in Europe. So And there's talk about even getting rid of daylight savings time.
Yay.
So hopefully that does happen. It makes our life a lot easier, and yours as well, that we don't have to keep changing the clocks back and forth. And my kids are like, wow, it's light at morning time now. And
They don't even, the thing about it is, like, my daughter's 3, and like when the clock changes, they don't care and they don't know. You think you get an extra hours of sleep when it goes back? Nope, because she's going to wake up exactly when she's going to, and it is what it is. Qualcomm is waking up itself once again, so the long that is long and strong is going to be Qualcomm. If it breaks up 147, I'm definitely going to look to take about $1 worth that profit in here. You know what? I want to be aggressive on the way out, because you look at this last high, 147.50 was the last peak. So if it fails in and around there, I'll just try to punch out of half my shares on the way back in. And then, of course, we're talking about 150. I do apologize for these wicks on the chart. Never printed 129. I mean, wow, if it did, I think we'd both be pretty happy, and certainly would have been buying if those were real prints at 129.
Yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah. Another thing here, guys, too, just to keep in mind, Alibaba, if you guys still have that 289 long, or sorry, 282 even long there, look at that. Now we're up a nice little bit here on Alibaba as Bitcoin trying to go again here. I don't have any shares, but GBTC trying to make some moves. Palantir still in the money, 5 cents. That's not Palantir, that's Baba. Okay, Palantir right here, still in the money. Now it's 7 cents. Okay, so we are making new highs here on that break. So good little break for that for us for 80s, 81s. Now we're back up to 87. And again, trade your own book, right? I mean, it doesn't matter how many thousands of shares you have on this one. You got to watch out for these breaks, because it can be pretty violent. So here we go, man, back up to 12. I'm going to sit here about midway, 1180. 1190-ish. We'll see if we get out 1193, 4, something like that on some of this, and then we'll hold the last little bit for 12 and change. But this is another 7-cent winner here for Palantir, and it just, I mean, the hits just keep on coming, man. I have one negative stock. It's that Cation stock, and it doesn't like. We did have it on the break here, and we lost that 50 cents, but look where we got in, 901. This was not something that we were hoping was going to make or break our day. So I hope you didn't make that trade also with a lot of shares. If you did, there's the VWAP out for 40-cent hit, and then now you can see this all the way down to 380. So still could be a break on this one, but that's what you get. You don't want to get into too many shares on these illiquid stocks unless the market opens. And then once it opened, it did give you an idea that this was coming back to the downside. So it was an easy short if you waited for it, because it gave you these levels. But if you got too excited early, then you did lose. So that's Cation, the only negative stock I have today, guys.
One stock that I don't think is negative, well, for anybody, is probably DraftKings. I mean, again, up 6%. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Let's just remind you guys, 42.23 is the high of the day. 42.25 is the break. It's a double top that it put on in the morning's trade. There's so much room for this to come back to the upside. Key test here happening around that 42 even price. If it breaks out, I'm not looking to break out here. I'm looking to take that breakout at the high of day. If it had given, and this was the consolidation I did like, and I said if it consolidated lower, I'd take a bit of a dip buy. But this little wick, and when if you get a wick like that, it doesn't really give you a good entry price unless you chase it. I did not, so no long at 41.50. I'm waiting patiently for 42.25. If I miss a bottom pick, it doesn't mean I chase it all the way up here. I do think we'll get a top break here at some point, but I got to get back over to Qualcomm. This has been a good one for us, and we'll continue to, I don't know, we'll hit this one because haven't done it in a while. There we are, dropping the money on Qualcomm, and it's been one of those types of plays this morning. One of the strongest names I think we both definitely loved, guys. I just took some out for that little dollar turn at 147. I'll take some more shares on a dip and keep playing this 144.60 level. I got 146 on a breakup. I try to buy the dip a little bit closer to my exit, 145 and change or so. But I like this one to hopefully continue trending back towards the upside. And eventually, if it breaks 150, it'll definitely be the top stock of the day. XPeng, for now, is the best.
Yeah, XPeng, the best stock for me as well today. So again, you guys got to always watch out for the amount of shares that you're using and make sure you're trading with something that you're very, very comfortable with, because you never know what kind of moves are going to be coming. And that's why we did talk about there that Cation Auto and how you got to be very, very careful with some of the trades that you guys put on and the size. I mean, that's the one thing we'll always try to work with you and give you, the trades, but you got to trade your own book, and you got to watch out for the proper sizing on some of those plays. Let's just check in on Alibaba there. I'm very cautious of it because of the market, but there it is right there, guys. I hope you had that. We'll barbecue up Alibaba. I don't have it, but we did give you this break right here of 282. Let me know in the chat if you had that. And I also did mention there, Razigo there, a good little look. Try to join us. Where is he? Here he is. Try to join us early because I talked about DraftKings being really tricky to trade this week, guys. So watch out. The future's coming back in. If you're not out of Alibaba, get out. What's up, Brendan?
I mentioned this one earlier. Bluebird here, a little biotech back to the upside. Just got an alert through that high. 49.90 got taken out there on a little volume spike. This is the one that had one of their trials went bad, failed in a late stage trial, but coming back to the upside, still 14% for Blue on the NASDAQ. You're
my boy, Blue. I don't know. That's about as far as I'll go. It's definitely a good one to watch. I want to come back very, very quickly to Biogen. Here, it tried to hold on. I talked about this 325 area, and if it could bounce back above 335, I'd look for a bit of a long trade. But look, it has to hold that consolidation. That has not happened. It's broken the low, so that idea is off. I'm not going to be taking a long break on 335. If it does want to continue its flush, like we said, positive news and several upgrades. Maybe we're watching this 315 price area to the downside. If it goes down there, I'll maybe take a stab at it if that's where it wants to turn. So Biogen, no longer looking at a 335 break. I only want to trade like that if it holds that 3.25, which hasn't happened. So just have my Qualcomm. Like I've already taken some profit there. I mentioned how I'm going to take some more shares if I get the opportunity to. DraftKings, I thought maybe, we're just talking about it there with Sean as well, I thought maybe we're about to make a break through the high. It is slowing down at 42 even. I still want the 42.25 break if it can come. I just thought maybe it was imminent. Possibly not true. Brendan, what's up?
Just reading through, Bristol Myers reported, you saw it on our earnings board at the end of the show yesterday. There was also an FDA decision on, looks like one of their treatments that they're looking for manufacturing or marketing application for. Went from 66 this morning all the way to 64. We're kind of rolling over again here for BMI, but earnings were actually in line with expectations, guys.
All right, yeah, I mean, never a good sign when you have the FDA or you have someone reviewing some of your stuff. You want to get out of that one. But Bristol Myers, good one. Good. I don't own that. I wish I had. I'm in ABV instead, ABBV. Okay, Palantir, I told you I was waiting for 94s. I switched that up and just took some 89s. You can take some 88s if you want. You should be long with me now if you are at 81 or 80. So we just took out that 7 cents and it's just been a scalping machine here. I've made over 200 trades today. So yeah, and you can see on Palantir, I just wish we would have held some of these early ones. We take it early at 10.95, then at 11.08, then again down here at 11.70, then again at 11.80, and now we'll wait to see the last little piece. If this goes, then great. Otherwise, man, we're going to get out here at 70. So this is a very profitable trade at this point as we just take that 10 cents on the same piece that we're holding for a 10-cent loser, right? So they could wash that, and then we still have a bunch of 60% of our trade out here for about 6 cents. So it's a 6-cent winner, and then we're going to hold out for many, many more here as we're going. Here we go. Like here it comes. We should have waited for 11.94, but that's okay. That's where we were waiting. We took it out at 89, like I just described it. Now we're looking for highs of the day on Palantir, guys. No news, but they must know something about this earnings call that's coming because, yeah, Palantir just crushing it. And those of you that have BABA, I said you may want to get out. Hopefully you can get out of everything because now Alibaba's going to the high side. This was that long that we gave you. Everyone must have been looking at this because when it broke, I missed. I crossed up 10 cents and missed this trade, but that would have been a good one. I'd love to have a little tick there showing you guys that I was long, but I'm not. So ho-hum on that one. We did miss that. That's $1.50 now in the money if you do have that break. I don't have it, but
that's a big
hopefully you do.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Alibaba and Wowzers. I mean, 280 was a level that we talked about initially when it had the first news about the delay or the suspension when it does come to that big Ant Financial IPO. So obviously that should have been a level that was all over. It bounced multiple times. There's no excuse. And then it broke back up at 282, which was the previous low. So you're looking at that kind of a nice little break off at 280 level. Don't chase things that you miss is important. And that's exactly what happened over here in ONCT. try to give you the perspective. I was never looking for a long in this trade. I was only ever looking for it to come back below that halt price. Never got the re-entry here. We did have to pay for shorts, and I didn't get the locates until it was down at 320, and it's a 340, 350 entry that I wanted. It is now testing towards the original halt, that 275. So that would have been target met for anybody that's holding along still. If it doesn't bounce from here, you're probably waiting to the afternoon for a hope and pray pullback to the upside, because if 275 breaks, you're likely coming back into $2. It was $150 stock from yesterday, so I guess if you have it from the pre-market or yesterday's close, you're still in the money. But the tracement usually starts to come when you get that second, third halt, whatever it might be, and then it fails to hold that halt price. Usually has some trouble recovering. Same thing here in ONCT.
I'm just sitting here watching. I'm watching this GBTC just still going to the high side. GBTC here again today. Bunch of trades, but we're still making high moves here. Still breaking. See, the problem is there's not too much liquidity, so you got to be very, very careful trading this name, but a good one. Twilio, I see some people talking a little bit about Twilio today. Maybe early it was, and it's been a good trade for anybody that's been holding the long off that report, but they have come back in. Look at the daily chart here on Twilio. This was, they were flying high. They have the report. They hit. I mean, look at this 50 period. It's not. It almost look, and I hope that from you guys that have been watching the show here, I know a lot of you watch it for, some of the things that I talk about, for the longer term stuff that I talk about and whatnot. And I really hope that you've added this 50 period moving average. I know Neil has it on his charts now as well, but 270 guys, it comes right down to that number and then bounces. I'm embarrassingly long at an IPO price on this stock, but 270, that's a fantastic bounce upside. So you just got that 10% move off that. If you're long and you're able to get that, I don't know how much more the cloud names have in them. You could see Microsoft. I'd rather rotate out of Twilio and into a Microsoft or a Salesforce if you still have it. But, Twilio, great little move there. And on a daily chart, it's bouncing off our VWAP right now. I still think if the market does explode higher, guys, take this one. It's still down. This is one of the cloud kings. So 309 and change, Mr. Wicken.
Sean, just a question. Do you have your OTC thermos handy?
Yes, I do.
Yeti. Just going to talk about Yeti here.
I'll show it.
11.25% here today. This is all-time highs up here, above $57 here for Yeti. Earnings again, they make thermoses, coolers, things like that. Earnings again, way better than expected, guys.
You guys go to this side shot here. We can show you the Yeti. Nope, side shot, please. This one. There we go. So I want to say this one's sponsored by OTCX, so I did not pay for this. The OTC markets gave this to you, but there it is. There's the Yeti logo there. If you've never, so I still got warm coffee. The wife poured this, or I poured it, but wife made it at 7 o'clock, and believe me, guys, this is still warm. So Yeti, this is what we're talking about. Pardon me, Valeria? Yeah, still warm, Valeria. So Yeti right here, big time.
That'll be warm tomorrow.
If you don't have one, get one, guys. Yetis.
Like that, you'll be drinking warm coffee like a day later. Those things are ridiculously good. I want to a quick change here to planning Qualcomm, just because you are getting a retest back down in the futures overall in the NASDAQ. If it gets to that 12,000 mark and breaks, I don't want to be sitting in the Qualcomm long. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, you can see I was looking to already catch a bid. And I'm not just going to blindly get in if it slams back down. I still have the entry. I still have a trade here, and I still have my stop down at 144.60, just slightly below that. However, if the market does flush in, I'm not adding to that position. If 12,000 breaks, if we bounce in the futures here and hold that level, then I'll just go back and reiterate and add to that position again. Still holding the long, still have that second target up here around that 149. So I'm not getting out of Qualcomm. I'm just no longer adding to the position. It's range bound so far at the top end of the range. I just don't want to be digging into a long, which has already given a big win once, and anticipate it'll happen again if the futures want to break a key level like 12,000. Now, speaking of key levels, 12,000, a big one. You guys know that 2,000 is a massive one for us when it comes to likes. And if you haven't liked XPeng, if you haven't liked Palantir, if you haven't liked Alibaba, if you don't like the show, I don't know what to tell you. But I haven't seen, I might have missed it. I didn't even see us get to 1,000 likes on the day, which seems impossible to me. Valeria, please tell me I'm wrong.
Guys, in case you don't know how to like, let me teach you. Hi there. So right under this window, you can find a thumb up sign. So please hit it so it turns blue. And we're good. Back to you, Neil.
You learn something every day there. There's the educational content for you.
Teacher
How to hit the
Valeria.
like button. She is a great teacher, I think.
Fantastic.
Yeah, sign up for that all day long. I don't know why I haven't looked at plug power at all today. Now, look, this is going to happen anytime there's big time movement overall in the space. Pick what you think is going to be best. That's why you saw us go over to XPeng. But just watching plug, trying to make a secondary push right off this $18 area here. So if this does go, maybe it's going to be a nice little secondary mover in the afternoon. I have Qualcomm on to the long side. It looks like I might put it back on, adding to my position. I just note that the NASDAQ is looking like it wants to hold a consolidation at this level. So I'm now more willing to add back into this position if we get an opportunity. I do want to take us quickly, if I can, back over to one other name. Uber, of course, was in play yesterday. We talked about this with the Ballot Initiative pushing to the upside, and Uber was a fantastic stock. Another big move again, and forming a double top, 41.90. Here is that double top. Now, I'll never break long at 41.90. I would always wait for 42. Let's be honest about it. It's a nice little round number. If you do go back into yesterday's action, right off the open, there was a failure at that price. So 42 is the level I will like on Uber. I know 41.90 gives you that nice little double top and looks pretty on a chart. Give me the even dollar every single time. So watching 42 here on Uber. Another day, another move to the upside with this name, of course, winning that ballot initiative in California.
Yeah, Uber yesterday was a good one as well. So we traded that. Actually, Uber yesterday was a hot fire stock for us. So Uber, good look on that one. And we're glad to do that for you every day. And like Neil said, if you don't like the winners, then you may want to go to another channel. But okay, Neo right here. Again, this is where I was waiting to happen on this break. You can't really leave Neo if you're going to use VWAP as your sort of guide to trade, because it keeps on testing, and then when it breaks, it pops. Like, this is the only real time right here that I've seen this kind of chop happen in Neo. I wasn't watching it, but like this like up and down. This is 93 up to 07, back to 93, up to, you know, like it just goes and goes and goes. And I can blow this chart up just a little bit. This kind of trading I do not like, but when you see that. And then this is a hard one because the break would kind of be good. I'm already on this. The break would kind of be right here, like 39.20. So if you took it this time, you would have lost because it would have came back down to VWAP again. And you would have had to be patient. So right now, basically from what I'm seeing right now on Neo, this is just too choppy for me to get involved. And I'd rather it come back to 38.50 or so before we even look at this. Brendan, what's up?
I talked about this one much earlier this morning, right off the bat. Was very, very strong. You can see through that pre-market high. Great trade for Upwork, that online job site. Got all the way up here to 31 almost, but we're getting really, really tight. This consolidation, really, really tight. It's holding above $28, looking like it might want to test higher. 40% though for UPWK, guys.
Speaking of testing higher, here we go higher on SolarEdge. Like I talked about my short in this trade. We did get some profits at 226. We carefully re-entered our position so that when 230 would break to the top side, we'd manage the hit. That's what it's all about here. Certainly, I could have chased it a little bit further down. That would have been a mistake. It's continuing to run. All things into perspective. Forget about the daily chart. Let's go to the 15 so you can see here, guys. This was a $270 stock before it got absolutely crushed. It is breaking that 230 area that I was watching rather closely the last few sessions. If it does continue this move, 238 to 240 will be the next point where maybe it runs into a problem filling that gap. Through there, you're just looking at halfway. 270 to 230, 250 stands out like a sore thumb, guys. So let's watch a couple of those levels on the way up on SolarEdge. I do still feel like overall that entire space could fall into some selling, but maybe the last of it has happened today. I just want to go back over to cannabis space, Tilray. And look, I tried trading ECB a couple of times to mixed results. Tilray looking like it is trying to break back to the upside here and retest some of those highs. 725, you're seeing a lunchtime range be put in. I think if we hold a consolidation above VWAP, this is one of those things that you look for a secondary move in the afternoon in an already strong space. So whether it's Tilray or look, not ECB for me or Canopy, just watch out. These hold VWAP, they could make another run for that high of day. Uber pulling back also, might not get that entry just yet. Qualcomm still holding in the money for us. If you haven't been watching in Qualcomm, I want to reiterate here. If it breaks 144.60 or so, I will get out of this long trade. but I am looking to see if that pre-market or that opening range bottom, it was 142 where I wanted to dip. It got a little bit lower than that, like 141 high was the actual turnaround price. Either way, if it comes back down there again, I want to be flat so I can look for another dip buy. And if it breaks that low, I think the gap fill is on. Obviously, the market probably has cracked 12,000 if that happens with Qualcomm. So needless to say, I will not have added to my position here. And we are going sideways. We're resisting the top in the NASDAQ. That's why I took some profit on Qualcomm here. I still have a target of 149 even, but things are looking a little slower and a little weaker as we're top heavy in the NASDAQ. Brendan, what's up?
I just saw this one, JFrog. We mentioned this, I believe it was yesterday. Earnings aftermarket here for JFrog. Yeah, a little disappointing, 9% on the day here, but you can see a spike lower aftermarket yesterday. 65 though. Yeah, we're getting back towards these IPO support levels. 65, basically a line in the sand, I would say, for JFrog, Frog guys on the NASDAQ.
And there goes DraftKings. So it does break that double top. I mean, 42.23 was actual price, but 25 is the level I was going to look at. I'm always going to round to those quarters. You know how it's going to be here, guys. So DraftKings continues its surge. We've talked about it a couple of times here. Let's go to the 15 so you can sort of see. Nice trend up. There was great support at 35, but the bigger picture, of course, is where it had come from. And that's what it is, guys. So now that we're looking at a 42.25 break, and you go to that higher time frame, I'm looking at 43.5. Probably the next level up. I'll be all flat if it gets there. I'll be very, very happy, of course, if it does. And no guarantees, but I like to have a target in place. If I'm taking a lunchtime break, I might mute my expectations a little bit here. So if in the case that that's going to be true, you do look at some chop a little bit tighter to that 42.50 to 43 range. I'll take some profit once it busts that. And of course, about $1 ultimate target for me on DraftKings. If somehow it goes past 43.50, I'll be all flat either way.
I was so excited about DraftKings and you know what's been happening with it. I actually checked my TFSA account. That's a tax-free savings account. So it's like an account, I don't know, just a trading account that you guys can have in the States there as well. It's not margin eligible. You cannot go short in anything. But I did pick up DraftKings. I checked on the way in. It was an $35.23 was the price we picked up some DraftKings on just a couple weeks ago. So that move is definitely paying off. We were longer on DraftKings as well. My average price was 39. We picked up some at 35. So now that's even cooking right now. So a nice little long there Neil has on that break, and let's see if it can continue higher. Loving this today, man. Like Palantir has been a big pickup for me as well in that trading account, and now so is DraftKings. So nice to see what's been happening on some of these names as we go higher and higher. Apple, oh yeah, Facebook was again one of the trades that I want to look at. I do have an order to go long through Facebook if we do get upside. Yeah, basically 294.75 here on Facebook. That's the high of the day. I still think we can break that, especially if the NASDAQ comes roaring back. I'm just not sure that's going to happen, guys.
Yeah, I sort of share that sentiment here, and obviously you are seeing a bit of a stall, and we should probably show you the futures. I mean, why not? We'll keep talking about it here. So I want to show you what's exactly happening. This is a 60-minute chart, so you're going back a few sessions here, and we're getting a little bit top-heavy. It's been a fantastic move. There's no question about it the last few sessions, but maybe some bit of a turn could be on if we break this 12,000. So that's the reason why I'm not digging into that Qualcomm trade. I think DraftKings obviously is a different beast. I'm not going to apply any of this rollover, I was about to say nonsense, or idea to a DraftKings. I do want to go back to that ONCT for a brief second here. I did say if it broke this 275, that's probably a good place if you're still holding along to get out of it. It's consolidating off the bottom, so watch out. If volume picks up from here and you get a bit of a spike, this could be one of those names for an afternoon run as long as it holds this level. If selling can't break this, and then you get a spike in the afternoon, the algos pick this one up, this could go, maybe it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I've seen it happen in the past. It's setting up to do it again, but it's at 275 that has to hold. That's the level I'm watching here on ONCT. I haven't traded it because I missed my short. Not going to chase it here, guys. DraftKings about 10 cents in the money. I'll take some off when it rounds around that 42.50 and then 75. And I know it's boring. And then 43. Talk about those quarters and those evens. Keep it simple when you don't have an obvious target.
Okay, guys, and here goes Facebook. Talk about obvious target. Neil, this is 70 cents now in the money on Facebook. So banger rate, big win right there on Facebook. Congratulations to anybody that has that one. Bang, another winner on board right now. Superman is back in the building. Let's go, guys. What's up, B?
Another software maker, just checking on Workiva. It was earnings. There were multiple upgrades, price target increases on this one as well. WK in New York up 18%, just about to break through $68, already at all-time highs. Still decent volume on the day, and we got a bunch of upgrades for WK, guys.
Thank you, Brendan.
Lots of things breaking the top there. So WK's breaking the top, Facebook's breaking. Not at the top yet, but hopefully we get there on Qualcomm. Another test. We did take profit off on this trade for about $1 win, and now it's making another run at this high. I do apologize. I can't really, for some reason, I can't edit these ones out. Usually I can. These little down wicks, they haven't happened. But I'm still looking for us to break a little bit higher. We're probably going to have to test the high of the day in the futures here. And I have a target right now for a $2.5 to $3 winner in Qualcomm. However, if we approach this and we've broken the high of the day without Qualcomm breaking that high, I will cancel that order and hold it into 150. Those are the conditions that I need to try to hold for another home run type trade in Qualcomm. Usually at lunchtime I wouldn't, but if the futures make a fresh high and I'm still holding along, cancel the offer and let it ride has got to be the way to go. We talked about that a little bit yesterday, and I'm going to go with that same idea there. I do want to go back over to the cannabis space just if I can very quickly to ACB. Now, obviously, I've had mixed results shorting this, but the last out, we didn't let it go back to 550. It is approaching that 550 mark now. Man, this could squeeze to the upside if it breaks that. So I will stop fighting the trend and break long at 550. If ACB wants to go up, I will not fight it any longer.
Guys, you want the big stocks? I mean, I just talked about Facebook just 2 seconds ago, and then look at this, guys. This is $1.20 now in the money. So I mean, it just keeps on going here, guys. High side, high side, high side. The winners just keep on coming through. Did I say $1 in the money? How about $1.70 in the money? So we're not like targeting $2 winners or anything like that. We have $2 winners. Like this is $3. I mean, does this go to 300 today? The market not even moving. Facebook high side. Here's a $2 winner. We're not even rolling the dice, but we'll roll them up here today. And I mean, what a fantastic day, guys. Everything moving for us. I mean, Facebook rockets up the board right now, and we just continue to take off. Here's a $2 winner for you in 2 minutes. So congratulations, anybody that has that. We took them off instantly. That's 80 cents there again. And now we hold this as it rips up to the high side. That is Facebook, man. Just keeps on going. Gave you that name. I identified this, why we liked it. So that's what it is. We'll explode the money for you. And then we'll do one of these two because we're thinking we're pretty cool today as we're smoking Facebook. Now there's the $2. We just keep on going, guys. Join, if you're not part of the team now, join it. Let's go. Team Sean, rocking and rolling right now. Team Hydration Nation, more importantly, guys. Crush that water. Let's get going right now, guys. Brendan, let's go.
Just seeing some of these cannabis names crawling on the NASDAQ. There we go. CGC now breaking day highs as well. So here we go. 9% for CGC. Just saw Cron, Tilray, the entire group starting to push to new highs as well, guys.
Yeah, we just literally talked about that, and even ACB, like I said, these are pushing. I'm not going to be fighting any of these to the short side. You got to give up the ghost. Know when something isn't working for you, and fighting the short on these names, which 22%, 20%, every single one of them looks incredibly strong. So not going to be going again to that south side trade. I do want to get back over to this APVO. Wowzers. We will warn you guys sometimes to take profits when the fail is going to come in, but this one has come in rather heavily. It's actually now down on the session. Remember, this was yesterday's move. This is a day 2 type play here, guys, so that's the reason why you can see it's still negative. I'm going to watch to see if it holds this recent bottom. If it breaks this 1450, watch out for 14 below. This stock has plenty of room to run. This all started at $6 a few sessions ago. There's plenty of room for it to come back in, and if 14 goes and you're still holding the bag, please don't be. Take profit when these things give it to you. 14 breaks, and you could be looking at 10 to 11 very, very quickly on that name. Haven't added in Qualcomm just yet. DraftKings still haven't taken any profit. So sometimes you're late to the party, and this is going to happen to you. It's just shaking itself out here. I'm not going to trail out of this. If it breaks 42, that's fair. But if we hold that, I'll stay in the breakout trade. If I get out at 42, it's because I'm looking to get back in at VWAP. Breakout trades, I'm not going to hold as long against me. Bottom picking and buying the dips has been a much better strategy lately than the breakouts. But it is lunchtime, and it was a double top, so I got to take it.
Yeah, this breakout for Facebook, I think, was probably the cleanest and best trade here all day. Well, I mean, that and Palantir, but this Facebook, man, what a monster rate to the upside. We're going to get out if it breaks through 296.50, and when, yeah, we'll collect a $2 winner. And again, thank you for all of the love here on the chat. We just, keep growing as a station and just keep getting bigger and better with the show. And here we go, $2.50 now in the money. So great idea here. We've had some monster trades today. It's embarrassing, how well a lot of these trades have done. I just hope you guys are crushing them with us as well. And I mean, it's just been, like, I can't say enough, man. What a fantastic day it's been. Today, it was great. Yesterday, this volatility's here. This is election time. Everybody already knows that. So just get ready and get buckled up, man. I see Trump right now going to be challenging everything. So this is going to be in the courts, and there's a lot more to come from me and a lot more to come from this market, guys. So all the big wins are here. XPEV, Qualcomm, Palantir, Facebook now, Bitcoin. Let's just keep the party rolling. Brendan Wickens.
Just had a huge kind of market-wide almost. There's multiple stocks just breaking out through resistance areas today on volume that just happened in the past couple of minutes here. This Match, MTCH, reported earnings aftermarket yesterday. Better than expected, up 7% now. Just went from 136 up to 138 and a half in a matter of minutes there on decent volume. So this is another one. If you look at the daily chart, 45 bucks back in March, 140 now, guys.
I mean, it's funny, you mentioned stocks breaking towards those highs, and I just looked over and, look, if I'm going to be in solar energy and trading it to the short side, got to watch for First Solar, as it is also making a bit of a rebound. You can see it did flush over $10. Look, you can see, well, more than that if you look at this 90 level here from a few sessions ago. But it's about to break, and it actually just did break this key 87.50 area. I think the next stop, you look at this double top at 91, and I still sort of believe there's an end to this run here because the lack of a mandate that's likely to be true, especially with the Republican-controlled Senate. That's the purse string. You're not going to get anything past that, and you could see some gridlock. That would put a damper on some of this space, and much like solar energy, I'll take a shot at this in First Solar if we approach that 90 to 91. But you got to go to the higher time frame, clear resistance, not just once, twice, but 3 times on the way back in here for First Solar. So I'll be taking my shot if we go a couple of dollars higher than that. If the market wants to break through the top, my 2 longs are going to be DraftKings and Qualcomm. I want to add Uber to that, but unfortunately, it does look like it wants to try to pull back in. Here's a quick look. There was that nice double top. If I see this setup here, I'm either taking the breakout or I'm catching something a little bit closer to VWAP, which is held twice, 41.20s, but I don't want to be long right in the middle of the range at 41.50 and then making an awkward decision here at 41.20. At lunchtime, I'd rather keep it a little bit tighter, guys. So I'm not adding Uber just yet, but it would be the third long I'm looking for if it takes out the top.
Let's check in on Alibaba. How's that trade doing? 282. We can have a quick look there. I did see some love. Yeah, like that was a 282. Like this is $3 or $4, man, in the money. All these calls we've been giving you today have just been huge, man. Baba, Qualcomm, XPEV, and everything. And what up to Christopher Chow? Did not want to forget this, man. People got a tip on that Facebook run. Bang. We're liking that, man. I'll come up with more ideas. Don't you worry about that, Mr. Chow. We're here. I'm here with lots of ideas today. I mean, did you have Palantir at 10.95 or at 11.05? There it is. Got to see that replay later. Good job. Thank you so much, Christopher. Look, we love the contributions to the show. It's completely free. And yeah, I mean, if I'm not motivated by money, obviously we wouldn't be here. But I do this for the family. So shout out to you guys. We're just having a lot of fun. I've been trading now for 18, 19 years. Brought Neil into this game. Brendan's here now as well. This has been big, man, and we're hoping that Trader TV can even get bigger and better. So, yeah, just keep on joining us. Join the boat now. It's not too late. Come on board, hit subscribe, hit the like. We're just going to continue to rock and roll. And Facebook just comes out there for me on the downside. We didn't get out at 297.50. We got out at 296.50 from our 294.50 long. So there's a $2 winner for you in just a matter of minutes, guys. So we're smoking today. And guess what? That's never going to stop.
Never, ever. It doesn't stop around here. Like, I like that graphic because, of course, cannabis is in play, guys, but in play yesterday was Biogen. If you didn't see that, you missed probably the biggest move Notional value, obviously the biggest move in any stock yesterday, from like 240 to like 365 to the upside on Biogen. It's finally made a bit of a bottom. I was waiting for this to happen. 325 is now back to the upside. If it can hold this consolidation here, and I know it's hard when a stock is like this with a dollar spread, you got to think about areas, not particular prices. So when I say 325, I'm talking about like 23 to 26. If it does hold above this, I think maybe the bottom is in and we can get a retracement back to that 335 area that I mentioned both yesterday and earlier on today. So Biogen, looking for this. I would have loved it a little bit earlier when you're not going into lunchtime for a break back to the upside. Ideally, it consolidates and gives you something after lunch, like 1, 2 o'clock, where I think the juice would be a little bit better. Unfortunately for DraftKings, I get greedy with this trade. I don't think it's too greedy, to be honest with you, but I don't want to be taking profit, like I said, till it gets closer to 42.50. I'll just get out of 42 breaks, take the hit. It'll be like, add to ACB as a negative stock today, and then look for a retracement back into VWAP. That's going to be the idea that I work with here. I think at lunchtime, don't overtrade. Only take the things that you really like. So I'll hang on to Qualcomm because I like that one. But DraftKings here through the high, I'm not going to give it too much room. I think that's a little bit reckless. Speaking of ways that you can learn, we try to give you what we're thinking about here so that you can follow along both the thought process and the stocks that are worth trading. And along those lines, we are dropping a video today. We make a lot of trades. Sean has like a couple hundred executions. I only have 61 today, sticking to a fewer names today. But we use a lot of different order types. And if you are an active trader, you got to understand the tools that are available to you on your platform or others so that you can understand what's the best for your particular style of trading. So check it out on our Market Wisdom page, learn about some key order types and how you can use them to your advantage. Valeria will have that link in about 5 to 10 minutes or so in the chat, guys, so check that one out.
Yeah. And I look, I mean, this is the thing. You wouldn't be able to hit this trade if I don't have a stop order, right? I mean, that's the one thing that I've really altered a lot of what we're doing now on the show, for me anyways, in taking over the show. Like, I do have 300 fills today. Some of that's been on the Bitcoin. You've seen that. But, needless to say, like I have 6 trades on Facebook. I have 4 trades on NEO. I have 4 trades on Qualcomm. I have 20 trades on XPEV and 44 on Palantir, and they've all been monsters, right, guys? So it's just a matter of how you want to scalp it. I take a lot of shares on some of these names, and I get in and out really quickly. So, and it's been a profitable day. I can't remember the last time we were negative, so we'll spin some money around for you guys today. And look at this out even. Well, you can't see now, but okay. Even look at this out even on Facebook. I mean, if you don't have that stop order at 296.50, then you're back down into this little area of trouble at 295. So it allows me to capture profits and whatnot. Check that video out for sure. Brendan, what's your favorite order type?
My favorite order type, put me on the spot. I'll say a limit order. That's very generic in general, but if you want more, join us at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Valeria has the link for you. JKS here, guys. A lot of people still talking about Jinko Solar. This thing's crazy. 25% a couple of minutes ago. It's still, back to 24 here. Watch 7150. There's a little level, kind of 7150 on the daily chart, and then maybe 73 above that. But above that, like, take your pick. Like, the all-time high was up there at 91. Like, this thing's up enormously again today. $59 this morning in the pre-market. We're at 71, guys, for JKS.
And I'll do a frowny face here, pout. For DraftKings, back below that 42 mark. If it does hold VWAP, I'd like to be re-entering this trade. Give it a little bit more room here, guys, if it goes down towards this test at 41.60, 41.50 or so. But the market is coming back in. I see a couple of people watching that 12,000 level. I'm also watching 12,000 on the NASDAQ. If we roll through there, I don't want to be holding any long, so Qualcomm will be gone. If we do break down, I wouldn't take Biogen if it starts to come back into that price range that I liked. I talked about 323 to 326. That's no moss for me, no go for me if 12,000 is gone on the NASDAQ. So a couple of those longs I'll be getting away from. I do want to come back over to one small cap name. We talked about KXIN. And I just want to remind you, I got it early, but I did mention this 365, 370 area. Again, if this holds, a volume spike comes in. I'm looking for a 4 even afternoon break. This can maybe get a second win to it. It's on 38 million shares. But I'm not taking it unless it's accompanied by volume. If it just grinds up on low volume, I'm not taking a $4 break. It's got to be buying coming back in with some volume spikes, at least around some of these, 10 o'clock to 10:30 levels. You're not going to see what you had at the open, obviously, later on in the session. But it has held this 365. all day long. If it bounces from here, that's when I like the $4 break on volume. So watch out for KXIN. This one might not be done for the rest of the day.
Yep, probably not done for the rest of the day. There's lots of stocks moving around today, guys, and we'll just continue to keep looking at those. Look at that Facebook out. We're out of that. Only 20 minutes left. If there's any names we're missing, I mean, this is a good time now to put them in here, and I'll start looking at some names for you guys. If there's anything specific you want, like part of it is also running some stuff like this. Look, it's fruit salad time, guys. It's been fruit salad time for a while. I mean, I'm glad we didn't give up. We hit our goal like at 9:33 today, but we keep motivated. You guys love the show, so we'll just keep trading. And good thing we have been, man. We've crushed Palantir and all those names. So today's fruit salad, I've been nibbling on it today, but I'm going to say blueberries today. Blueberries looking really good here, as well as grapes. And I got to give a shout out to my wife. She picked up these like killer green grapes. They're like the size of your head, but they are so good. So we're crushing grapes right now. I don't know, they must be like, I don't know, in season somewhere, but grapes right now, so tasty. They're in the fruit salad. Do you guys like green or purple? I guess they're called red grapes. Green or red, what is your favorite? Being Italian, I like those little, I have to figure out what they're called, the little ones you pull off the vines there. Something special, I'll look them up. But these grapes, super, super special right now. I don't know what it is, but grapes in Ontario, fantastic right now.
They are tasty, I'm not gonna lie too, but we got some at home, and I feel like maybe they're just I don't know if they're on sale or there's just a bunch of extra surplus. I have no clue, but my wife just got a bunch as well, and they've been heavy in our fruit salad every single day. Jinko, and we've talked about a few solar names here, much like First Solar, it is rounding into, and this is a good recovery it's had, but just remember the punishment that some of these names have taken. 73.75 is rapidly approaching, so I don't think we're going to get here before the end of the show, but I just wanted you guys, I know a lot of people look at this name, I wanted to make sure you guys are looking at this level here, 37.75, just a little bit higher on the way down, 75.35, so a couple of levels that you might see a rollover. I talked about First Solar at 91, Jinko here. Solar Edge for me was good 3 days in a row, but today, obviously, you're seeing a lot of strength come back in. The market's trying to turn and roll over. If it does, you could see some decent retracement plays. I think this could be one of them. I would favor First Solar, just looking at the chart last time I checked, and I'll probably circle back to Solar Edge as well to see if it does a rollover through 230. But that one has come and gone for me. Now look, adding Jinko to the watch list for the afternoon as well.
CGC entry point? Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that. And like I said, I'm going to look on here and see if I can find anybody giving any names here. So everybody loves grapes. That's great. Frozen grapes are delicious. Yeah, I mean, frozen blueberries are delicious. That's for sure. Oops, I just got short in Palantir on a order that we did not mean to have out there. But it's a 5-cent win, so let's just put this order out and capture the profit there on Palantir. Whatever, that was a mistake. We got to check up. That brings me to another point here. This late in the day, you got to make sure that your orders are out properly. So, like, I have some stop orders that may still hit. I thought I cleared most of them, and that was the last one. There's no more else, so there's none other than that. Okay, CGC, let's talk about that. We'll go into some little weed Batman here. I love this. This was a good idea that we had. Where's weed Batman? There it is. We'll hit it. We hit that when we look at some weed stocks. So here comes CGC right now. Wow, okay, hallelujah. Not only making money trading on the show today, but it looks like the old account will be up quite nicely once we check that after the show. CGC was a great buy down at 14. That's when we stamped that. I guess Biden maybe is getting more and more looking like he's going to win, I guess. That would be the only thing that I could think of on this spike up. I know Neil's been trading ACB today. I don't have any weed plays today, but we may look at this in the afternoon. I would say keep CGC on your radar all afternoon, guys. Brendan, what's up with morning wrap, I guess? What are we calling this? Yep, morning wrap. Let's go.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at North American markets. We'll show you a couple of symbols that we've traded here and had success on today. Look at this board. Very, very positive top to bottom still. The S&P now above 2%. You can see the NASDAQ still leading off the highs. When last we spoke, this was 2.5%. So coming in a bit, but still nicely higher. The Dow 1.9%, the Russell even 2.6%, playing a little catch up today after a down day yesterday. Here in Toronto, the TSX 1.7, the BOVESPA 2.5% to the upside today. The rally continues. Top symbols for us throughout the show today: XPEV, QCOM, Facebook, and Palantir. Per share P&L on the other side over there. Big numbers today. $20 on that first one there. XPEV 15.8%. to the upside. That break, 30.50, really, really nice this morning, all the way up to 33.5. Still looking like it might want to get going again here. XPEV, guys, might want to have a look at it. QCOM earnings, yeah, really, really great earnings report for QCOM, 142. Ended up being the top aftermarket yesterday. Came in, tested, guess what? 142. Gave you a nice opportunity to fade that little gap right off the bat this morning. Let's go over to one more here real quick. Facebook, yeah, you saw that break. What a move. 294 through that consolidation. All the way up to 297. Doesn't get much better than that, guys. On volume as well. Back over to you.
Yeah, we hit that smiley face because you guys know the damage that we've been doing on those names. And I really like that because it gives you a little bit of an update there on what stocks maybe we should be looking more at, because we see our P&Ls, but very, very interesting to see some of that. And we're really glad that you guys are able to watch that. Some big trades today, Neil.
Yeah, and look, you see me chuckle. You might have heard me chuckle, but our production crew, of course, keeping things funny for us in our ear and in our chat sometimes. Nothing funny about ALTM, guys. And this was one that I'll admit. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be this parabolic. It was $10. We just halted again to $25. We talk about educating a little bit here, and I'll give you the reasons why. We looked at the retracement on ONTC, and we called that one to retrace and come back in and be a short, and did not put the same thing on ALTM once it broke out through 18. It halts to the upside, breaking the opening range top. And what do I always talk about? When it reopens, it has to hold consolidation below that halt price. It does not happen. There's no failure of any of the levels below, which would have been like 1950 down towards that 18. You see none of that. It ramps to the upside. And on top of that, it ends up holding that halt range before going again. So these prices where stocks halt, people are looking at them, and they seem to end up mattering time and time again. You see the secondary push after it once again holds that 20 and change halt price, 2043, 2070 ends up being the bottom here. Another ramp up, staying away from this until it halts and holds one of those levels to the downside. ALTM not done. It looks like we have a lunchtime mover here, up 150%, and it feels like no end in sight. It should open any minute now. I am not touching this one until, like I said here, it halts and goes downside from one of those halts. Has not happened yet.
All right, Brendan's favorite order, a limit order. My favorite order, also a limit order, but attached obviously with a stop order. So those are coming up very soon. If you want to see that movie, I guess not a movie, this is a training video. That's coming up, but coming up after at 1 o'clock. You can all join us live for this. We are hopefully going to have Jeff Mendel, VP of OTC Markets, to discuss the Hertz delisting. We know that you can't trade this retail, but it's very interesting piece here. We'll find out about that. Breaking news, that could happen at any time, so that's a good one as well. And just a few of the topics there to come. That's what's coming up. But coming up, right now, actually, Valeria's going to drop this very soon. Market Wisdom channel, that's the one we wanted to do, talking about order types. And you already talked about that, so order types, anything you want to know about that, watch out. See, there's CGC today. Look, these weed names will continue to get faded out every single big move. So you got to really take advantage when you do catch something. A lot of these moves happen in these names in the pre-market and whatnot. So you just definitely got to watch out if you're trading this intraday. There's a lot of profit taking all the time on these names, which is why I really don't love to trade some of these names on the show. I just find the continuation sometimes is not great. If you would have got it down here, fantastic. But what's the purpose of this move? I don't really know. They're not really following the futures or anything. They're just watching, obviously some of these debates, or not some of these debates, the ballot counting. I see Pennsylvania's been frozen out right now until that goes through. I did want to give another big shout right here to Christopher Chow. You're welcome on that Facebook run, man. It's been a big one. And yeah, I made money on that as well, as obviously you did as well. So hopefully you guys are able to hit that with us. Is Neo still making moves? Yeah, I mean, there it is. That was my only Neo trade today. A winner, man. So we're feeling pretty good, but not the cash cow that Neo's been for me lately. But today still, look, even if you make $5, you still put that in your pocket, right, guys?
And it still heads to that $40 range. We talked about that. Look, it's a good one, that 40 level. You got to watch out for it. I mean, in 39.87, technically the high of day there on NIO, but 40, hard reversal before, and we'll see if it can't break through in the afternoon today, or maybe even tomorrow. That'd be even better if we can catch it off the open for you guys. Only one position on Qualcomm, of course. Brennan went over it here, but The market continuously looking like it wants to test that 12,000 to the downside. I'm not going to let this one go too much past VWAP. I'm going to tighten my stop up here because it does feel like we might want to roll over. I'm going to get out if it goes upside before 150. I'm not holding through there. I think that's going to be its own trade if we test and break a 150 on Qualcomm. So for now, still long at 146. I just want to tighten things up to just a few cents below that VWAP there at 85. Brendan, what do you have for us?
Just to give you a comparison on this JKS move, Jinko Solar, have a look at FSLR. If you remember, big move down yesterday. Election concerns, also earnings for FSLR right back up today, but only 10% here, only 10% to the upside. If you look at JKS, yeah, it's still around that 25% mark. So nice move for First Solar today as well, guys.
Oh, Jinko. Yeah, everything today. And again, remember, we talked about different segments to trade through based on who's going to win, based on the expected outcome of said election. So, yeah, EV space, man, everything electric, I know Vice President, I guess, Biden has talked about the oil business in Pennsylvania and what they sort of expect to happen there. And yeah, fossil fuels and obviously the Democratic look, which I think is a good one, obviously to the environmental friendly electric vehicle space. So XPEG, NEO, some of these other ones, Plug Power, and all the names Brendan seems to be giving us seem to, not all of them, but a lot of them have something to do right now with electric vehicles, including Workhorse. You know what, let's just check out Tesla quickly before we go back, because I don't have any positions on, and Tesla right now, a big mover back up to 431. Not fantastic today. Again, if you do have that early break in the morning, this is a 1 minute chart, then yeah, you could, you'd have this at 430, ripped it to 440. There were just as many stocks that made the same move. Now, I mean, bottom 429, you could have bought and picked that. That's a good little level if you like to go long Tesla right now. Use this level, 429. It bounced around in the pre-market, so that could give you a reason to get in or out. But right now, I'm not really looking to cook anything up. It's 11:51. I've had a monster day. We have 0 LFT, our highest from the top there. And the only loser that we have is that Cation, which is embarrassingly small. So, we made more money on that one Facebook trade that took us 3 minutes than we lost on the Cation trade. So whatever. But we talk about our winners and our losers. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the day, guys. It's been a good one. We're back tomorrow for Friday.
Absolutely, and it's a sad end of the week because it doesn't get any more exciting this week. Anticipated that was going to be true election week, of course, and volatility has come into the markets here. Volatility's already been in ALTM. It halted again. I talked about what you need to see for a reversal on this stock, and it's trying to hold below this 25.30 a halt price. For the time being, you're seeing the exact same type of failure the first time. So this is history repeating itself. The bottom end of that range was a previous little fail break price, about 30 cents lower. So I'd be watching the same thing here. The only difference is it extended a little bit farther. So watch out for 23.80 or so. Even if it holds below 25 and you're short into it, it might turn right back around $1 lower. So I'm staying away from that for this reason. I'd almost prefer if ALTM squeezed up again one more time before jumping into a short trade here. But it is interesting if it gets below 24.80. It would normally be all systems go with a 25.30 stop, guys. So 50 cents worth of risk. The problem, if it does bounce at 23.80, it's only $1 worth of upside. And 2 to 1 usually seems good. Shorting a parabolic mover, not the best idea. I usually want a little bit more than that, guys.
Okay, yeah, look, lots of movers today, including every single name that we've been looking at. I'm really super pleased. I had no idea Microsoft, off that recommendation of a 201 buy, was actually going to make these kind of moves. I don't think anybody really thought that the market was going to do this, especially over the last week or so with the election. I mean, everything I was reading was like hell was coming, and coming quickly, but that's obviously not the case. Why did we pick up Microsoft downside at 201? Because this is what Microsoft does, man. This has been a monster stock ever since Satya Nadella took over, and Azure has been going crazy. I think Microsoft and AMD, and I told this to Rob, he's long at 76 with me on AMD. I thought they had the best quarters, the 2 best quarters. Maybe Facebook did as well. They all got smashed on their quarter, and you're seeing what's happening right now. Back upside, we got a little buy down here at 200, right? This is the consolidation. So anytime I see something like this, it's definitely worth picking up on a stock that you like, right? Which is exactly why we're going to go over to Alibaba and why I'm waiting for that stock to come down in the 260, 270 area. If you look at a daily chart here on Alibaba, it's the same kind of thing. They're missing now today on their earnings report. They have bad news about Ant Financial, but they're still the strongest Chinese name that I know of. I mean, Tencent, big name as well, but that's over there on the OTC market. Alibaba, if you're looking to get something that we're going to be able to trade here, 274, 260s, good buys on Alibaba. If you can get it to 270, 260, 250, I'd say load up the boat on that one if you wanted some investment advice, but it's not there yet. AMD was a big one at 76, though.
Yeah, absolutely. AMD, fantastic. Look, just because names are on our watch list doesn't mean you have to trade it. But our watch list is free every single day, and you're going to see almost everything that is profitable on either one of our lists. I don't want to say every single stock because I know usually there's one or two that might venture away from the watch list, but usually we stick to what is moving and what is going to be on that list. One last thing, I did see somebody ask about KXI, and I did already mention a couple of times, if on volume we bust 4 even and actually hold this 365 bottom, I'd be looking for a break long in the afternoon. But as I say that, we are testing the low, and if it breaks down, like I said, it doesn't hold, that trade's off for me. I need to see how far this one goes down, and then think if there's another bottom pick coming in. It needed to hold that low. For now, it looks like that is not going to be the case in KXI, and it was a good short. I obviously took it off a little bit too early. There was that break at 485. It looked strong in the morning. Once it broke down, it was a good one. Maybe my initial bias, thinking it was strong, probably kept me from hanging on to this one a little bit longer than I did there, guys. But either way, good trade. That long is off for me. Qualcomm, the last thing I have on, and that's about to stop me out here. I'll risk about 25 pennies. I was going to do more than that, but it does feel like the market's rolling over, and I don't want to hold long tech or a name like Qualcomm up 13% if we break 12,000 on the NASDAQ. Not going to happen. It's already been a good enough stock. Not going to throw it away at lunchtime, guys.
No, hell no. Yeah, Qualcomm has been a beast for us. We've absolutely destroyed that stock today. Yeah, it's a big one for us. Palantir and XPEV, for me, the two biggest names that I've had on today. Yeah, don't hold anything. I mean, look, this is not even a move in the market, really. But, it's been kind of choppy today, other than, this is the NASDAQ, other than some of those initial moves, like this one and then this happening right now. You're kind of just bouncing around. So that's why you're going to see me be pretty flat here today. We've been trading some Bitcoin today, and then the best trade for me right away, we put on, see, this is the thing, we put on some shares here on this early break of XPEV, and then when it came back down, and maybe this is a little hard to see, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. When it came back down, let's take off these executions here just to give you an idea of what we were doing. Did I just get filled on something? No. Okay, XPEV right here. This is the thing. We take this first break, right? So our first long is right here at 30.75. When we notice it comes back down, we actually get long again down here, protecting these day low bottoms. So I'm going to put executions back on one more time just so you could see what we did. We put on another long down here, and this position was actually double the size of this position. So that's why once we get the bust right back up, we get super excited and take that off. And even though, guys, this is only $30.50, our best out 31. This is like $1. This is like $2. So even though it's $1, $2 winner, it's still my highest stock. Just goes to show you the confidence you got to have in some of these names early on. Brendan, give it to us.
Guys, a couple of minutes to go here. Let me show you this one more time. Join us back here in an hour, guys. We're going to do a live recording of educational videos for an hour. Great topics this afternoon. There's a potential of 2 guests, not 1, but 2. Our friend Rob Spracklin from our IT team going to stop by and talk about the perfect trading PC and how we can put together a trading PC. It's a topic that's been requested a number of times. So we're finally going to do a video on how to build a box, a computer for trading. So that's coming up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So make sure you do join us for that. The earnings don't stop. There's lots of them to get through again today. Let's throw this up, guys, and have a look at what's coming up after market or before the open tomorrow.
Yeah, a little healthcare, CVS. TripAdvisor in there. We talked about this. Brendan brought you Expedia, which was on the move. I actually see TripAdvisor up only about 5%, actually hanging on to some highs. So a little bit of buying going into those earnings. It's not nearly as exciting as some of the other earnings we've seen. And I know we're going to sound like a broken record, but if you're just not keeping it to the EV space, having a look at cannabis, you're making a bit of a mistake. I think as an active trader, you've seen that's where the best plays have usually been, and then the big tech names have been the way to go. So I don't think we'll stray too far away from that. Hopefully, if you have some nice wins, we can celebrate with this national day that's coming up, which is wowzers. Yeah, that's my literal weakness, this one, Valeria. So good pick. Let's go to Valeria for the national day.
Thank you, Neil. And hey, guys, what a great day. I hope you all enjoy your trading today. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash the like button. Also, guys, open the link I'm sending on the chat in a new tab and tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for some good education. And happy National Donut Day, everyone.
All right, we like those donuts. More importantly, that earnings board, guys, watch out for EA Sports. EA Sports is on there. We saw Activision move. You could get another mover tomorrow in EA. So I think that's one definitely to look at here. 127. They've been rocking and rolling. Look, up 2%. The thing about EA Sports, I just want to give everyone obviously a heads up. You already know about this, but it's well, maybe you don't. That's why we're going to bring this up. It could break out. So I would just say I've been looking at this stock for a little while here. 134.50. It's a very exciting stock. The reason why there's so many people at home right now. There's so many people playing video games. We could talk about, you know, the success of Fortnite, Apex Legends, so on and so forth. EA Sports has their own games. And look, with PS5 coming out, I gave my opinion on Sony yesterday, and you see what Sony's even doing today. Big moves up. So I do like EA Sports tomorrow. We'll see what it does. I mean, 1 million shares. We will obviously get a lot more than that on the report, but it could break either way here. EA Sports, if they disappoint, watch out. But it's a pretty steady climber, and I just wonder if we get that big report tomorrow, do we possibly see like a Qualcomm type move in EA Sports tomorrow where you're up that 12, 13, 14, 15%, breaking back through 135. So I'm not a shareholder in EA Sports, but I do like this name for a long, and that's one of those earnings plays tomorrow. We're well over time, but I had to get that in because I do like that one, and that's the earnings board. And yeah, donuts are good.
Yeah, donuts are delicious, but APVO, delicious to anyone that's long. It just broke up again, and it's probably going to halt. Just broke 21, so day three, well, I guess you call it like day three, looking almost as good as day two for this parabolic mover. The move not done yet, but unfortunately, we do have to be, before we get out of here, just to remind you guys, you can't make a trade if you don't have an order. And learn some of those order types. We drop these for you every single day. There's a new video. This one in particular, whether you keep simplistic strategies or have complex ones, learning about the system that you're trading on and what is available to on other systems, certainly important. So we're dropping this on order types. Valeria has it in the chat. So make sure you check this one out. Down the line, as always, thank you very much, Valeria. I'm a man, Sean Katina, with the hydration today and a sharp shirt. Brendan Wickens, thank you very much. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you tomorrow, guys.